Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. I want to say shout out to all of those folks out there who have been watching the videos over the last past week. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Also, shout out to a lot of those who came directly through the comment section to leave comments as well. Um, we actually have quite a few videos, and because of an update that took place, I can now move some of the videos in the order that they specifically need to be in, which is actually dope. I was actually pretty psyched about that update. And I'm talking about specifically for StreamYard. But we got quite a few videos and then some that are not up at this current moment in time because you are limited to the amount of videos that you can have all at once, which is about 10. So what we're going to do is get started. We're going to look at a few of these videos and as always, have some conversation.
Chud is getting out of jail. You know, we're going to watch out for our own. Crypto casinos making his $1 million bond. Y'all are mad about it. And y'all are going to boycott and not buy anything from white businesses. Got some bad news for you. Y'all don't own the means of production. Meaning y'all don't own grocery stores. You don't own farms. You don't own gun stores. Y'all don't make ammunition. A civil war would not go very well for y'all. God don't like ugly. Y'all were rejoicing when Chud went to jail. Now, not only is he getting out and going to beat the case, he's rich. We appreciate y'all making him famous.
You know, the most interesting thing about this is quite the one thing, right? I don't even care about Chud the Builder getting directly out. That's neither here nor there. I just know that he's more than likely going to tread more lightly and he's going to do things a little bit differently, also depending on what the court order states, if he is to specifically get out of jail. Number two, I don't care if some crypto, whatnot, or whatever bailed him directly out. That's what white people do, especially when they're racist. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, let's clap it up. White people bailed some other white person out for being racist, and they also, you know, made him a millionaire. Okay, shout out. That's great. Yeah. Um, the main focus that I want to point directly to is the fact that whenever you look at content like this, there's only 100% of the time there's one demographic, and it's rare that you can say that. Rare that you could say that. Matter of fact, let me walk it back. Let me walk it back. 99.9% of the time that you see content like this, there's only one demographic, white, who decide that they want to always talk about a war or a race war. Black people don't wake up every single day harboring some type of animosity, hatred, or fear, and we're hoping and pleading to any god that'll listen that a race war, that a war is going to happen in the United States. That's not what we do. Like we just wake up to exist. We wake up to try to, pay bills and try to do what's right, do with our families, our communities, or whatever else is going on in the world. Like I said, this is the primary demographic that always talks about they want a war directly in the United States. I could have sworn that y'all were done with. Oh, I forgot. Aren't we still going through some stuff right now? I forgot. And it's not because of the blacks. I just want to put that directly out there. It's not because of the blacks. Because notice how he wanted to speak. He was like, "Hey, you guys aren't the one that own the markets. You guys aren't the one that own the guns and the ammunition." Okay, you're right. You are 1,000% right. But you know what else is also funny about that is that there are two sections of white folks. There are the middle class poor whites, and there are the wealthy elite whites. And what tends to happen is that those whites up there, right, who profit from this whole situation, and they position the poor and the middle class whites with this dumbass ideology that they like to keep spouting and spinning online. They allow them to walk into their own demise. They give you guys and allow you guys to have the guns and the weapons and the ammunitions on purpose because they know what is really going to happen. That at the end of the day, you're going to cannibalize yourself. That you're going to inevitably, once everything is said and done, right? Once you've had your fill, The country is going directly into the darkest demise. You've been able to get your fill just like what y'all did back in New Orleans, back during Katrina, when groups of white boys are going around in trucks and cars and whatnot or whatever, and y'all were going directly through black communities. When all the lights were off, when the news wasn't there, when nobody could specifically do whatnot or whatever, y'all did what was specifically in y'all nature to do. And y'all gonna do the exact same thing again. And then after you had your fill, right? You know what's going to sit up there and happen. Or better yet, after you get bored, you know what's going to happen? You're going to start to sit up there and look at yourself. And the exact same things that you were so anxious and really wanting to sit up there and do to the black community, once you had your fill and you get bored of that, you're going to inevitably turn directly on yourselves. And then the moment in time that you turn on yourselves, that's when the wealthy and the rich are going to then turn directly on you. Like I said before, it's crazy to be able to see how everything is going to play directly out. And I can see it like as if it's right now. But they're so stupid that they can't even realize what's going to happen. They don't have a defense for the wealthy and the rich having these privatized militaries from all over the world, or being able to pull in military personnel from all over. So let's just put it like this, because the white folks, right? Because they believe they fully, running the country, and this is America. We run this country. We own this country. We modernize everything, right? What's to sit up there and stop the United States from pulling in other folks, military wise, like Russian or Chinese or African or Indian? What's to stop the United States? I'm talking about the rich and the wealthy. What's to stop them from bringing millions of them directly over here in order to get all of y'all in order? Nothing. You can sit up there and tout, oh yeah, we got machine guns, we got rocket launchers, we got this. They got tanks. They literally have unlimited numbers of people that they can pull directly over in order to get you straight, in order to put you directly into internment camps. You do not have enough ammunition to sit up there and deal with, let's say, I don't know, 100 or 200 million soldiers coming from other countries over here and working directly for the government. You don't have nothing that you could sit up there and do. You're going to just have to roll over, because that's what the end result is going to sit up there and be. But better yet, the other idea that I love so much, right? I love Skynet. Skynet. Shout out to Mo, because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Which is basically how you have, let's say, Elon Musk and a lot of these, Google and Amazon, all of these corporations coming up in a very fast rate, along with NVIDIA, AMD, or whatever. All of these chips, computer sets, Microsoft and whatnot, they're coming up with this AI. And they're coming up with a metallic shell that they can put the AI in. And they're working very hard and very fast in order to get the AI along with the metal body to match up, so that it is as close as humans as possible, right? So that they now have their own military force that will do whatever it is that they want to sit up there and do. Like I said, you saw Tron, right? Everybody, I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw that movie. You saw what happened directly in that movie, along with a lot of other movies that take place and happen that deal with AI and robotics and all of these other types of things. Like I said, you guys have allowed the United States to outsource so much that now they're going to outsource again by way of having AI and robotics take the place of the normal soldiers, because they know it's going to get to a point where the soldiers are going to be like, yeah, we're not going to do what the wealthy and elites want us to do. Okay, no problem. We're going to sit up there and make a robotic army that pretty much has elephantine strength and almost has unlimited ammo. Matter of fact, they're going to have weapons of which you can't even prepare for. There's no type of bulletproof vest. There's no type of armaments that you can put on your Ford F-150. There's nothing that you're going to be able to do from when it deals with attacks from the ground, the air, the sky, and the water, when it deals with these drones, when it deals with this AI, when it deals with the sound technology, when it deals with everything that they're going to be able to throw directly at you. You're going to have to roll over. Like I said, those are the only two routes that this is going to go directly towards. And I'm fine directly with it any which way, because like I said before, whatever happens directly to Black Americans, it always happens either first or it happens last, but it's still going to happen. Everything else happens in the middle. Everybody's just getting their turn. For us, it's a Tuesday. For you, it's your whole life. It's your whole existence. So this is why I'm completely fine when it deals with a chud the builder and many other copycats directly out there, because all you're doing is just speeding up what's supposed to take place. Like I said, bring 20 million chud the builders directly out there. Go ahead, start whatever war that you want to sit up there and happen to start. Bring upon martial law so that everybody's messed up. Go right ahead. Like I said, I'm ready for them to bring in the biometric scans. I'm ready for the chip. I'm ready for them to have the medical compliance that they already got in place, where it's just a patch and it's going to give you like these nano type of shot. I'm ready for bring it all on. Like I said, and white folks, it is going to be you at the end of the day that is going to be the downfall of this country. Like I said before, you're not going to be able to blame anybody else. I'm not trying to hear you, oh, it was the elites, it was this, it was no, it was you. It was you, because you thought that you were the top of the food pyramid and you were at the bottom with everybody else. But can't nobody tell you nothing. Like I said, y'all think y'all know everything. Y'all think that y'all are the masters of the universe. So like I said, I want to see how y'all fight off the AI. I want to see y'all. I want to see y'all do that. Because y'all say y'all good at fighting. That's the only thing that y'all know how to do. Y'all good at destroying. Y'all good at doing this. I want to see y'all do it. I want to see y'all do it. Like I said, like this is how stupid this conversation has gotten. I got to sit up there and walk with people at the exact same pace. It's like, white people want to focus on racism, no problem. I got you. I'll walk right there with you. That's all you know. That's all you can sit up there and see. That's what y'all get up and smile about. Yeah, Chuck the Builder. He's out. Yeah, you blacks. Ha 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 ha. All right, it's going to be ha 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 directly on you when you're placed in some type of internment camp directly on your own land. It's going to be a ha 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 when the United States government, end up pulling up eminent domain. We're taking your land. What you going to do about that? Nothing. We're about to sit up there and fight for our land. This is America, 1776. Okay, let me see you 1776. Some robots that are bulletproof. Robots that can use sound technology to bring the strongest white man directly to his knees. Let me see you 1776 that. You can't. You going 1776 some drones? Some tech in outer space that you can't even sit up there and see? Shout out to the California fires in Maui. Like I said, it's crazy. Y'all got it though. Y'all got it. Y'all 100% got it though. Like I said, I love to see it. I love to see it. I can't wait to say I'll be right here at this exact same chair, saying the exact same things, reporting on the exact same news, because you're too deaf, dumb, and stupid to realize that you're walking yourself into a door that you cannot return from once you enter it. And slowly but surely, you've been doing it all the way. Shout out to the Patriot Act again. Like I said, we're already at a what was it that people like to say, a surveillance state and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, it's crazy how they would rather get amped up and they want to give money to Chud the Builder versus trying to worry about the surveillance state that we currently have. If anybody has been to like a Lowe's or a Home Depot, they literally have cameras that are able to snapshot your license plate, read it, run it through a database on top of seeing directly through your cars. Do you think that white boys like this even care about that? Even though they talk about America and our freedoms and this, that, and the third, and no, they don't care nothing about that, because it's about the blacks. It's about the race war. It's about we founded the country. You blacks just got here. We imported you. Yeah, it's that whole thing that they like to keep talking directly about instead of focusing on the demise of the country, the downfall of the country, the breaking apart of the country, how America has always been up for sale, even though America is supposed to be the land of the free. No, it's the land of whoever has the most money to buy it. That's what it is. But they don't want to talk about that though. That's crazy. That's diabolical. Let me see. Somebody said, "What drugs are you on?" I'm on drugs called Life. Those are the drugs that I'm on. Now, normally when it deals with different groups of people, they like to be on meth. They like to, get hooked directly on opioids. I'm pretty sure you should actually know exactly what those are. because primarily those in the white community have either been hooked on or passed away, or been in some type of comas because they've OD'd to an extent, where they're not there and not there at the same time, and they got to be on, some what is it, ventilators, whatever it is, in hospitals. Um, so yeah, like I told people before, I don't actually do drugs. I get high on life though. That's what I just so happen to do. Unlike other demographics there, so me getting high on life allows me to still be within reality versus being on another plane of existence. So that's where I am at this moment in time. You know, um, somebody else basically said that, bro, you talk if we as black people have plans of our own. Some black people do, some black people don't. That's not my concern. You obviously missed the part that I clearly stated. I've been talking for it about like 15 minutes. So let me go back to the part that I said before. Black people are the first and the last on the totem pole. So whatever happens is always going to happen as it's always happened. What's happening right now to everybody else, they're just losing their minds because this is the first time that stuff is actually really happening to them like that. They're losing their minds. They're actually getting treated like black people. Oh my God, how dare they do that? I'm not black. That whole type of deal. And I'm like, well, for us, it's a Tuesday. And for everybody else, it's the rest of your life. It's the third coming of Christ. So, like I said, people are going to have to figure it out. So I'm not sure if I made that any more clearer than that. Just saying. Like I said, it's crazy. Um, what was it? What else we got? Anyways, let's continue directly on because that was enough of the whole rant dealing with Chud the Builder and yada 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 and all the other good stuff. Now it's time to get directly onto some of the good stuff. Right. Some of the good stuff, right? So now I can take that picture directly down. So now we're gonna go directly to this one. Right. So we're gonna hear directly from a few women here and their um opinions along with that, because this is, as people would like to say, a woman hating channel. I gotta bring it up because somebody said it to me in my last comment section. So I'm going to have fun directly with that and bringing it up. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring up a comment. You might not be able to see it. My apologies. It's a little bit, smaller than what I would hope. That's what she said. So we're we're going to decide to read this off directly to you guys. So just give me a second. I got to go directly to the channel. Got to go to the back and get the comment right. So this lady here, Stacy Mitchell, 73, said, right, that from going from the video that I did yesterday, she said at a time of 9 minutes and 20 seconds within the video, she said, then post positive content about black men. Right. And I replied to her and I said that I do. Later, she said, but don't only post negative content about black women. I replied to her, I don't. I've also posted positive content and also content warning black women about certain things directly out there. Right. Then she said, post positive content about us as well. Again, repeating herself when she already stated the first time, make positive content about black women. And then she said, and a lot of times your verbiage alludes to all black women in a negative way. Work on that. What I don't like, I'm going to just let a lot of women know this now. I don't like the fact when a woman wants to come up on whatever it is that I built, my space, and you want to tell me that I need to work on something as if you're like my mother. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. Maybe you can talk to your husband like that. Maybe you can talk to your boyfriend like that. We're not doing it. You don't run nothing at all here. I'm not sure where in any. Maybe I've been talking a little bit too calm in some of these videos, and you got women out here thinking that you can just pull up to the scene and try to tell me that I need to work on something. We ain't doing it. That's like me. That's like if I decided to like go to this woman's house and be like, you need to work on your weight. Just imagine how that would sound. Just imagine. I want just let that sit for a minute for everybody that's here, right? Just imagine that. Just imagine if I went to that woman's house and I'm like, yo, I don't know you. We're not even in a relationship, but I saw you from afar and I'm like, you need to work on your weight. I would get crucified online. I would be stated as oh, you're one of those black men. You're anti-black and this, that, and the third. See how crazy it is? But like I said, when you got women that pull up to the scene on somebody else's stuff and they decide to try to give an order, it doesn't sound crazy to people. But if I did the exact same thing in return, I'm crazy. Like I said, I like to make examples. Maybe the example landed, maybe it didn't. It'd be like that. What else did she state? Yeah, and then she wanted to talk about the verbiage. Again, the verbiage that I happen to use, that's me being tired. That's me going my whole life listening directly to black women not listen. Doesn't matter if it's in my family, it doesn't matter if it's college, people that I've known directly through life or whatever. Um, it's the sound of being tired. Like I said, I understand that a lot of women don't understand what that means because they more than likely have not actually had important men or fathers directly in their lives. But when a man is tired, you're going to hear it directly in his voice. And when he speaks, it's not going to come with the emotions that you would normally get from other women because I'm not a woman. I'm going to directly tell you. I'm not going to bullshit to you. I'm not going to lie to you. That's what women do to other women. I don't have time for that. So if you want somebody to lie to you, go get you a Derek Jackson. I'm not it. I'm not doing it. Like I said, the exact same way I talk here in a lot of cases, I talk directly to women that I know. I talk as direct as possible. Now, maybe just maybe, I may curb some of the language that I use, but I'm still going to sit up there and talk direct. You're going to get the point one way or another, but you're still going to get the point. And if you're the type of woman that automatically gets offended, take it up with God. I don't know what to sit up there and tell you. I'm not sure why women still continue to come directly on black men's platform and you want to pull up to the scene and complain. I don't know you. We ain't dated. I've never seen you before. So for you to throw your hat directly in the ring and try to be a girl's girl and you're trying to body block for women that you don't even know that probably would not even piss on you if you were on fire is completely crazy to me. That doesn't make any type of sense. But if you want to sit up there and be the shield for those women, hey, who am I to deny you? Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm just, like I said, for me, I'm just tired. Like I said, there's only so many times that you can try to sit up there and tell even the most important women in your life, and then just women in general, certain things directly out there, and still see those women not sit up there and listen. And you expect me, you expect me as a black man to sit up there and still talk nice, to lower the bass in my voice. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. That's not how that works. Like I said, if I'm going to sit up there and be listed as the bad guy or the villain, I'm at least know why it is that I'm going to be listed. I'm going to do it on my own time, and this is my own time. Just saying. So either get with it or you move directly out the way. That's it's just saying. Just saying. It be like that. But anyways, let's get directly to the video.
I over on the house.
I have a majority male following, and I have a question for the men. So here's my question. Do you know that, like, I as a woman can't do what I want? Like, just fundamentally, I cannot do what I might want or what might make me happy. I just had a man friend of mine say, you should do what makes you happy. And I didn't know how to respond because that was one of the stupidest things I've ever been told in the last 5 years. Because I can't remember the last time I did what would make me happy. I do what I have to do. I do what I need to do. I do what is hopefully appropriate to do. I handle my bills. I handle my job. I handle my responsibilities. And then I try to exist. I just try to function. I just try to survive. I try to stay above water. And then in the last 2 years, the political climate has been getting more and more weird. Give the last 8 months, and we're in insanity land. And what do you mean to tell me I should do what makes me happy? What the fuck? What the fuck does that even mean? So, just like as a baseline question to the men, do you know that we, your female counterparts, aren't okay? We're not doing what makes us happy. We're surviving. What a weird thing to say.
Women.
So let me just go back and pause that. I've told a lot of women directly out there, do what makes you happy. because women do have so let me just preface this, right, before people start throwing in, all these other types of things. Just putting this into parameters. This woman is single. She has a dog. She has a little apartment. She has a single apartment. She didn't mention anything about kids. I just want to know that she didn't mention nothing about kids. She didn't mention a husband. She didn't mention a boyfriend or anything like that. She does not have anything holding her back. So she got online basically complaining that one of her male friends looked at her and was like, yo, just do the stuff that makes you happy. And she's like, how can I do that? I'm just trying to survive. Like, I'm paying bills. I got a job. Politically, everything is crazy. Men survive every single day, and they still do what makes them happy. Like, they'll go out there to the bar, go to pool. They'll go work out. They'll go bowling, CrossFit. They'll go biking, ride a motorcycle. They'll go rock climbing, swimming with dolphins, skydiving, playing video games, building a man cave, working on the car. Like, men do stuff that they love to do every single day. You're telling me that as a woman, where you don't have no dependents, you don't have no significant other than that dog that's sitting up there laying on that couch, that somehow life is so hard for you that you can't do nothing. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild to me. Because like I said before, women have the unique ability to be able to sell anything and to just be able to make money literally from anything. There's women right now making money just from sitting down. Understand what I'm saying? Just making money right now from sitting down. That's it. You got women selling keychains, making money. You got women starting up whatever wondrous businesses on Etsy or I was about to say Spotify, Shopify. Like I said, whatever you could think of, women are making money directly off of it. But she's sitting up here saying that she can't find a way to do what makes her happy, and the dude is weird for basically stating that because her life is oh so hard. That's crazy to me. She didn't list nothing in this conversation. Everything that she listed, she didn't list nothing that a man is not already doing. This is why I told people before, when you take kids out of the conversation, everything is even. When folks don't have that to lean on, everything is even. You're talking directly to the choir. You're talking, and this is probably why he sat up there and said it, because he's looking at your life and he's looking at everything that you're doing, and y'all pretty much doing the same thing. So he knows that he's doing the stuff that he wants to do. So why aren't you doing the stuff that you don't want to do? And what does politics have to do with it? What does politics have to do with it? How is that impeding or stopping you from doing what it is that you really want to do? That doesn't make any type of sense. Like listing a whole bunch of excuses. You're white with orange hair and blue eyes, fair skin, or whatever. You're young, white, and free. What are you talking about? The world is holding you back now. Yo, this is crazy. I ain't never in my life. This is delusional. This is very delusional. But you got women out here that follow these types of women directly out here. Wild work. And then she wanted to sit up there and call the guy weird or men weird for saying anything like that. Right. But let's keep going.
Women do disproportionately a lot more housework and cleaning and everything. It's something that will build so much false resentment among women. And here's the thing. It's not because their husbands are forcing them to. It's because their personal standards are higher. Women are like, well, if we didn't exist, who would organize all the parties for the men? And who would put the doilies on their tables? And who would wash their sheets every week? And the men are like, wait, I thought you just wash sheets like once a year. It's lower standards. And women feel like they have to. I all around the house, I'm cleaning up and I'm grumbling. And my husband is literally like,
to this stay-at-home dad.
Is it going to make you sick? No, then leave it there.
And the way we know it's a preference difference is because if you look at single men and women of the same age in the same race, and you look who live alone, and you look at their time spent on housework, those matched controls, those women already do 200% more house.
Oh no, Pink, I agree with you. One day I plan on myself going skydiving. I've always wanted to go skydiving. It's hilarious. I've always wanted to go. The funniest thing is I remember being younger and climbing a ladder, and it was like looking at the ground from that height. And this is coming from a guy that would normally jump off trees and jump off garage roofs for fun. Um, I was looking directly at the ground from that ladder, and it was almost like he had some vertigo type of thing that basically happened. But if I'm higher up, no problems. Like it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I don't think it's more. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think that was just like a thing at that point. But yeah, I just wanted to know that was pretty funny. But yeah, I always wanted to go skydiving. Always wanted to go skydiving. But yeah, this other video right here dealing with what this woman said about women doing 200% of the work when it deals with cleaning. That's because women decide to do that. She said that women automatically have higher cleaning standards. And more than likely that is correct. Because in a lot of instances, men are like, if it's not bothering you, then why touch it? Like, just deal with it later. Just come back to it, a different time. That's normally the attitude that guys, in a sense, have. Like, again, guys do clean. We just clean on our own time. That's how it. Now, again, like I said, you got different levels of guys. You got guys that'll just automatically, clean every which way, clean every single thing, no spot unturned. You got some guys that are moderate. You got other guys that's just like pretty much laid back. It's like, all right, I just get to it at some point. I'm just too tired. I don't work, 15, 16 hours. Whatever's right there on that table is going to be staying right there. I'm just too, I don't got the brain ball right now to really deal with it. But I'm about to sit up there, order some more food, and it might be another, few boxes added to that table. But like I said, the garbage and whatnot is going to get taken out, right? But as stated before, nobody specifically tells women that they need to sit up there and clean. No, nobody's telling them that. So if you got women over here like overworking themselves doing this, you have yourself to, in a sense, blame. Like I said, I've seen so many times in examples of women getting mad because a guy did not clean or do it the way that they wanted, or do it at the moment that they wanted. And I'm like, you're making yourself angry. You're amping yourself up. The way that I was raised is, if you see something and it's a problem for you, then fix that problem. If you see something and it's a problem for you and you don't fix it, why complain about it? So that's the way I happen to go about things, right? If I happen to see a problem, I'm going to sit up there and fix it, or I'm at least going to attempt to. So for me to see women complain about men's lack of cleanliness and not, doing it how they want to, then you need to do it then. And that's not sexist to say that. Like I said, if you see a problem, then sit up there and fix it. If you're not going to fix it, then you might as well just shut up. I'm just going to be real. There's no other way I can sit up and put it. I can't mix, any type of words. Like I said, if I'm going to be a villain, I'm going to sit up and be it on my own time. It be like that. So now we're going to go directly to the next video.
3 different women from 3 different cultures experience a man coming up to us at the bar was so funny. Okay, it's a Russian woman, a French woman, and an American woman, me, right? And we're standing in line for the bathroom. The 2 bathrooms, very obviously labeled man and woman, right? And this guy comes up to us. Don't know if he was French, but he was speaking French. And he was like, which one is the male bathroom? And we were like, dude, context clues here. Which one do you think the 3 women are waiting in front of? Probably the woman's bathroom, right? Also, there's signs. Look with your eyes. So immediately, I'm like, let's just get this guy where he needs to go and tell him the correct answer. The Russian woman, however, was like, do not give this guy a time of day. He is trying to flirt with us. He's being an idiot. Like, she wouldn't even like look at this man. Okay. And I was like, okay, clearly the Russian woman. Me, I was probably saying this all with like a smile on my face, right? Giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he genuinely doesn't know. Trying to be kind to every stranger that approaches me, right? Which sometimes is my biggest downfall. Okay, I get approached often in Paris because of this. Third, the French woman, she is like, like going off on this man, being like, you know exactly what you're doing. You are trying to flirt with us. Like, we were having a good vibe before you came in, blah, blah, blah. I was just sitting there, mind you, like, we had all probably had a couple drinks before this, so it maybe was a bit more exaggerated than it needed to be. But I also was like, this is such a social experiment right now. Like, I was like laughing to myself watching Russian, French, American women deal with this man, all the way that our cultures have like taught us to deal with men. I think like in American culture, we're very people-pleasing culture, right? Like, we are always taught to be kind, just like to be fake to people, and Russian women are like,
what?
They don't give up. French women are gonna fight back, right? And I was like, this guy's a victim of 3 different women. Like, he came up to the wrong group. But yeah, poor guy. But also, like, not really.
So I want to know that while she was having fun directly in this conversation and reminiscing directly about this guy, it could have just been an honest thing. He maybe might have had a little bit too much to drink, and he was like, "Hey, which bathroom is which?" Because things might have been, flipped directly for him, and he couldn't figure it out. So he was just looking for some decent directions, like, "Hey, just go over to the side." But she was like, "Hey, read the writing directly on the room." What? So you couldn't just tell the dude exactly. You couldn't just point or whatnot, whatever. But you're sitting up here saying that in America you're raised to be nice and to do this and to do that and all this other type of stuff. You could have easily just ended the whole thing just by directing him like, "Hey, it's directly over there." That's it. But nope, kept it going. And then the other women directly jumped in whatever language that they decided to speak in, whatever attitudes they decided to give. This is a clear cut example of why it is that men, again, don't happen to go up and speak to women because of stuff like this. No, she didn't say that the dude did anything wrong. He didn't feel or touch. He didn't try to kiss anybody. He didn't try to grab a hand. He didn't rub up against anybody. He didn't say anything disrespectful. The dude didn't do anything wrong. He did nothing wrong. But yet, this is the type of treatment that he ended up getting from 3 different women from 3 different cultures. And she finds it just so funny. Yep. Like I said, more stuff to add directly to the list of why it is that men are not really trying to talk to or come up to women directly in public because of stuff like this. Again, just noting, just throwing that directly up there, right? So next, we're gonna go to the further video.
We've been sold this idea that being an independent woman is the highest form of strength. And yes, there's a place for independence, but let's be honest about the placement. We were told we don't need a man, yet somehow we keep creating broken homes with them. We were told I can do it on my own, yet we naturally yearn for a man who provides and leads. We were told we can raise kids alone, but we're struggling in silence, trying to hold down households, raise children, and keep our sanity. We shout, God will provide. But then we turn around and operate completely outside of his design. Many of us grew up in generations of hurt, no emotional intelligence, no examples, and we wouldn't recognize a real man if it stood right in front of us. Because so many of us were raised without our fathers. And now we're repeating the same cycle, creating more broken homes for our children. It's time to get back to inspiring to be wives, not just chasing what a man can do for us. It's time to rebuild the structure of a real, healthy family. Okay? And if you don't believe in the Bible or God's order, sis, I'm not talking to you. Because right now, we are being terrible examples to our children. And we are leading them straight into the same pain we've never healed from. Somebody got to say it. Okay?
Ethnic.
So I also want to note that the woman that is actually speaking, she has a ring directly on her finger. So she's at least about something that she speaks directly of. So how a lot of people like to say, I'm breaking generational curses or whatnot or whatever. She's obviously speaking on a problem in a situation, and she did her part in order to not be a part of that problem and or that situation, right? So I just wanna note that because a lot of times that I happen to speak directly on videos like this, you see women trying to give advice and they don't have a candle. They don't have nothing to directly go by at all. And like I said before, when it deals with content like this, and I've showcased content like this, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a lot of those folks that, oh, you don't put up, positive, commentary, whatnot, whatever of black women and all. I do. I put up stuff like this. But again, because this is a black woman speaking on an issue that deals with the black community, right? And she's basically saying that, hey, you got black women out here that contribute to, certain types of behaviors, certain types of circles, unbroken, I guess, like bonds or whatnot or whatever, right? You got those things happening. And in order to fix that problem, it basically starts with you. You have to take the first step as that woman to not go down the same road as your best friends or your female coworkers or the women in your family, right? And then you also need to sit up there and do something so that your daughter does not inevitably fall for the exact same thing or fall into the exact same stereotype as the women that came directly before her, by you being the example of how to change the narrative, how to change the situation, how to change your energy and everything of the sort. But like I said before, I can put up videos like this, but it don't matter because it's not going to draw the attention because it's critiquing black women. And a lot of those women, the naysayers that happen to come up, they're not going to show up and say anything because it's a black woman basically speaking. Now, if it was a black man talking, now we might be able to get a few hundred, views. We might be able to get, a modest, 10 to 15 comments. And then those naysayers will pop up and be like, this is what we're talking about with these black men. Like I said, you gotta, I guess I gotta find videos of black men talking like this, in order for people to start chirping. I don't know. Shout out to Nextel though. D Money was like, yeah, says you can drive. Nah, says you don't got that. Says you don't got that. We legally blind. POP, mama, we holding it down. That's that's what we have right now. Let's go to the next video though.
The same.
Let me speed this up just a bit. Okay, there we go. Speed it back.
Ethnic Black Americans, please be very careful. They have a resurgence right now. I see Cynthia G. I see a lot on my timeline, and
so let me just pause it. Matter of fact, no. Let me because let me just let it go. Let me let it go.
I will watch like pro-woman stuff, but I don't participate in anti-Black American men stuff. Pro-woman to me does not mean anti-Black American. There is a very strong agenda to divide the Black American woman from the Black American man. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that our men don't have work to do, that we don't have work to do as women, but there's a reason they're pushing this so hard, and you have to be vigilant and mindful. If we don't like what we're seeing, then we have to raise our children differently. We have to raise our boys differently and our girls differently. And that is how we're going to repair this stuff. But please do not fall for the agenda. It is ethnocide. It is designed to reduce our population and to divide us further. Because if we come together, we are a powerful force.
The craziest part, I have a clip of Cynthia G directly on TikTok. And what I realized is at one point in time, how a lot of other people would tend to think, they were like, yeah, you need to not allow people to speak and you need to get that type of stuff, like away. But I'm like, nah, you can't do that, because what that's going to sit up and do is going to make everything lopsided, right? And in order to have a balance, which I speak of a lot directly on this channel, you have to allow opposing views. Even now, again, certain words directly within that, there should be, certain limitations in a sense. But like I said, Cynthia G has an opposing view. I've talked about it quite a few times directly on the channel. I've brought up some of the comments, especially from a live stream where it was basically stated, paraphrasing, that pretty much black men should not, exist for one reason or another, and how it is that should basically occur, right? And I'm not the only content creator that has talked about that and brought that footage directly up at all, right? But the thing that I know that is going to happen because of the way that TikTok works is that she technically, in my mind, the way I'm looking at this future site wise, she should technically have a resurgence directly on TikTok. So it should go actually fairly well directly for her. Now, when it deals with black men directly up there, if you're a black man and you decide to go to Cynthia G's platform, you are asking for whatever it is that you are looking for. The way that I like to sit it and put it is that if you go, looking for the devil, you're going to find it. So if you're going there and you're thinking that you're going to rah, or you're about to have a debate, you're going to lose. I want you, you're running a full 100% of fool's errand. Your main thing as a black man is to, in a sense, ignore. You can take note, You can take note if you got the patience. You can sit there and sit up there and listen. But responding is the worst thing that you can sit up there and do, because it doesn't matter what it is that you decide to do. It doesn't matter if you agree with those women or if you disagree or if you're in the middle. Point blank, you're the enemy. As a black male, you are the enemy. So realistically, again, you shouldn't even be there. The only ones that are technically safe within that space technically are black gay males, right? And others. But other than that, straight black man, you need not to go directly to her page, try to cause a ruckus, a problem, try to have a conversation, try to go back and forth. Because again, that's what the content directly revolves around. That's how she gets people to engage. She's going to feed directly into what it is that those black women specifically feel. She's going to deliver certain stories. She's going to give certain statistics and all this other type of stuff, right? And then lo and behold, she's just going to sit and wait because, as always, there's going to be some random black dude that's going to decide to pull up to the comment section being stupid. That's going to further prove the point. That's going to further give validity to every single thing that she's stating. And you're just going to sit up there and make it worse. You're just going to make it worse. But like I said, you need opposing views. Let it happen. Let the cards fall right where they may. I feel as though that more than likely what will happen with TikTok is that Cynthia G should have a nice growth within there, because this is in a sense like a resurgence, because she was on YouTube for a minute, maybe even on Twitter, possibly IG, I'm not sure, right? But on there you can go viral pretty quick. And the easiest way to sit up there and do it, because technically I feel as though that she's one of the first ones to technically do it, speaking the way that she speaks, talking about black men in a negative light. Oh yeah, there's going to be women from all over, that's going to sit up and put up, including black gay males that are going to be directly in that comment section, talking about straight black men. So I give it about like a good 5, maybe like 5-10 years. 5-10 years, she'll sit up there and have a nice explosion, directly on TikTok. But the problem is going to come in where you have these women that have been there before Cynthia G got there, and they've already established themselves, and they may potentially see her directly as a threat, because there's only so much room. And again, which is crazy because they're dealing with the internet, there's only so much room for people like that to, in a sense, exist. And a lot of people don't like sharing followers and all this other type of stuff, because it'll get to the point where those other women that are already established, that's already been there, they might start seeing her name directly in the comment section, and they're going to start to get a little bit envious and jealous. Like, yo, why you keep mentioning her name? Why you da da da? No. Like I said, I done seen it so many times on social media when it deals with female content creators being in certain spaces and doing certain things. Yeah, it starts to become some problems. And then you start to have back and forths happening. So like I said, it's a matter of time before a lot of these things take place and happen. But again, like I said before, you have to allow the opposing views to be directly there. Because like I said, it's going to facilitate and improve everybody's point. That's what it's going to do at the end of the day. And like this woman said here, it is a form of division that is allowed. Because this is the main content that sells. Like I told people before, if you got women out here that want to really make a platform, all you got to do is start talking and saying negative stuff directly about black men. Automatically, you're gonna start to become rich. You'll be able to monetize any platform anywhere. It's that simple. You can't do that with any other group of men. You can only specifically, if you want quick monetization and you want to be able to make it somewhere, all you gotta do is just talk negative about black men. Like I said, I see tons of women from all over the world. It could be London, it could be Spain, right? It could be somewhere in Africa, it could be South Korea, whatever it is. They all got platforms speaking negatively about black men, and they're all monetized, making money. Like I said, I kid you not. I kid you not. So this is why I sit up there and I find it funny when I have comments where you got women wanting to tell me that I need to start saying positive. I need to start making more positive videos about black women and yada yada yada. But I'm like, you're not going to black women's spaces who are primarily talking negatively and horrendously about black men and black boys. You're not going there and telling them that, oh, you need to start saying positive stuff about black men. They're not doing that. Like I said, it's a one way street. It's a whole one way street. Like I said, it's crazy. It is crazy. Um, Somebody said, I don't disagree with the host, but that's so gross and disheartening. I mean, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Like I said, how I sit up there and tell people all the time, a lot of content, either I've seen hateful content or I didn't know about hateful content because I decided to ignore it. I didn't really give it a second, right? The hateful content that I've seen directly online when it deals with people saying stuff about Black Americans, I've seen it because I decided to give it time. I decided to watch whoever made it and hear whatever it is that they wanted to say for a variety of reasons. So what I'm saying is that everybody has a choice to ignore or to partake. I just gave you an example on how it is that I decided to partake by listening. Like I said, I didn't give a response. I didn't make rebuttals to the racist content directly out there because I can pretty much care less. They're doing it to make money. Like I said, it's the easiest grift. It's the easiest way for people to sit up there and make money. Just automatically be racist, say something crazy about Black Americans, and post it directly online. You'll be loved. You'll be admired. You'll become a celebrity. You'll start making money. Like I said, I keep telling people, people can't really make money, on their own 10 toes, just simply being themselves, having a personality, because that's too much to ask for. That's too much hard work. There's too much digging deep. There's too much trying to find out who it is that you actually are. And if you are actually entertaining and interesting enough to ensnare or encapture the intention of complete strangers. A lot of people can't. And that's just the fact. A lot of people just can't. So they're going to sit up there and go to the factory default setting of being racist, or going to the content when it deals with Cynthia G. Hey, I'm going to sit up there and tell you a whole bunch of negative stuff about black men and black boys, and then we're going to see where it goes. But like I said, it'd be like that. Whatever her feelings are internally or experiences with black men, it be like that. Like I said, she has a whole bunch of women directly out there that obviously see eye to eye. They feel the exact same way. Magically, all of them have had the exact same experiences with black men. How that happens, I have not a clue. That's a mystery, and it's also very strange at the same time. But it be like that, right? It just be like that. Like I said before, at the end of the day, for the black men out there, you just got to understand and start raising your sons to know that as soon as they're born, you are going to be to blame for something. Just because you're born, you're automatically at fault for something that happened to a young black woman, somebody's aunt or grandmother. Direct, as soon as you're born, as soon as you breathe air on this planet as a young black baby, boy, you are at fault for something that happened directly to black women in the black community. Like I said, start raising your sons as that so that they know exactly what to expect, so that they're not surprised and hurt directly in the future when they happen to hear some of the content directly out there. That in a sense took me by surprise. And I told y'all about that, 99 different times. And it's crazy to say 99 different times because at that point, I should get to a point of stop being surprised. But when you teeter totter directly on hope, which is a fool's errand, this is what happens. You leave the door open for hurt. So it'll be like that. It 100% be like that. We got somebody sitting up there writing some type of nonsense. Let me just get that off my screen. Do. Bro said, people have been monetizing content off of the backs of black men is what I mean. Oh, no, I got you. I got you. Copias, what is up? You said this stuff is crazy. We are the only race where our women are against us. Bro said authenticity, sorry, doesn't sell. It's not it's not constant drama and division. That's true. Like I said, Tyler Perry did good because a lot of his movies were black films where it was lifetime for black women. It was like the resurgence of the color purple. Black women during that time frame. If you can go back to the 90s and the 2000s, the one main black actor that a lot of black women hated was Danny Glover. and that was just simply because of the role that he played in The Color Purple. They hated that man with a passion, with a passion. I kid you not. I remember my grandmother, and at the age of like 70 something, she said that she still can't. She understands that it was a movie, but she says she still cannot stand seeing the face of Danny Glover. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, this dude is an actor that played. This is a black man who played a role, and this is not the only role that he played. But because the movie was set up in such a way where you're only going to see black men as a negative, that automatically sticks. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, it be like that. And now I completely understand why it is that you got folks like Denzel or even Will Smith, where they will decide to only play certain roles. I get it, because you could potentially play a role so good, or it can be so well written, or a combination of both, that magically women will automatically hate you, and that'll be for decades. And I'm like, that's wild to me. There has not been a point that I can list to you that I've seen an actor. I'm like, yeah, I hate that actor because they play that role so well. I hate them. I hate them for the rest of my life. I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, that's just that's weird. Like I said, I need people to sit up there and get it together. And like I said, I had to look at my grandmother sideways. I'm like, that just doesn't make any, like, at the age that you are. This is. I'm like, all right. I'm like, you got it. Hey, you got it. You got it. So what do you got? Somebody sitting up there spamming. You said everybody blames everything on white men, white liberal women hate us, blacks, Mexicans, everybody. You know, the craziest part is I've never seen white men try to fight so hard to, quote unquote, like, and this is because they normally call black Americans victims. I've never seen somebody try to work so hard to out victim the victim. That's crazy. Like, yo, that needs to be studied. 100% it needs to be studied. Like, that's crazy. So now all of a sudden the whole world is basically harping directly on white men all of a sudden. Let me just put it to, like, so you don't think that there's some validity, that there's not some historical details of why it is that now you may be feeling some, out of all of this time that the planet has been going around, this is the point in time that y'all feeling some heat, and now you're uncomfortable. Do you understand how much heat black Americans face every single day? And you're talking about a few seconds? You're not even within the door frame of the kitchen, and you're like, yo, it's way too hot in there. It feels like it's 85. You're not even in the kitchen near the stove, and you're talking about it's too hot already. That's wild. That's crazy. I ain't never seen that. That is 100% diabolical right there. What? That's crazy. How do we do that? Like I said, black Americans will talk about slavery. Here come white folks. Oh, but what about the Scottish and Irish? Everybody was slaves at one point. Do you hear everybody else complaining about being slaves? I'm Irish and Scottish. My people were slaves. We don't complain about it. We don't have this victimhood about ourselves. That's because y'all had indentured servitude versus chattel slavery. It's two different things. It's crazy how you want to sit up there and stick on one word, and then you want to only focus on that, but you want to focus on the difference on how the Scottish and the Irish were treated as indentured servants, where you can sign up for this for a certain amount of years, and then you're free to do whatever it is that you want. You got some money and you got some land, versus, chattel slavery. Just saying, that's crazy. But like they like to say, everybody was slaves. All right, I guess there wasn't different type of slavery that went on there. It's crazy work. Yo, Jen, you said exactly. Tyler Perry is part of that programming. Jen also said that is diabolical, the obsession coming from every which way, even our own. Yep. Copia said Tyler Perry films mainly featured a black woman with white boy, social engineering, and programming. Bruh said, isn't that the tale of a great actor? LOL, if they make you hate them because of a role, that means they were successful in that role. Bruh said, right, white men do out victim the victims. LOL. I agree with you. Yo, Bushido, what is up? Um, Bushido said, and Danny Glover is an accomplished actor at what he said, and Danny Glover is an accomplished actor at that. So glad they didn't kill his career because we know. Yeah, yeah, that could have potentially ended his whole career. It really could have. Luckily, he had Lethal Weapon and I think what was it, Predator, and a lot of other roles as well too. Um, OG said everybody was not a slave. You're part of the problem. Talk about what you know, which is your family lineage, which grandparents was slaves in your family. That's what you talk about. Um, I'm a little bit confused. You didn't get the example that I set up there and stated before you wrote this. Lord have mercy. It's crazy how people say that I'm the problem or something, but I'm giving, you know what? You got it. People make it so difficult sometimes. I tell you, I swear to goodness. I swear to goodness, people make it so difficult. Matter of fact, to showcase how difficult people tend to make it, I do have a video, and we're going to go with Miss Bryant. I'm pretty sure that everybody is well aware of who Miss Bryant is, Dr. Bryant, right? So we're going to listen.
But internally, what they do.
Right. So we're going to listen directly to this video. And again, some people are going to say this is old and they've been seeing it. And I'm going to just preface this by saying what's old to you is new to me. I don't see everything that's online. Maybe you might have maybe you got way more time than I do. Right. Maybe you got like 20 different eyes where you can just sit up there and fixate and focus on everything 24/7. I don't. So a lot of times I'm going to miss a lot of videos. So we're going to go over this video of quote unquote Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And we're gonna talk about it, right? So let me just zoom this up for everybody and take a listen.
Only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is discipline and boundaries.
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men. Hold on, everybody, especially men.
You are a
My
gentle,
God,
you
are you kidding? Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. That's what we need in the world is more gentle men who understand.
You're very gentle, and it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back.
Is this who you want to get your life coaching from?
Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Teray,
why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show. What is the point of interrupting me? We're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host
voice when you're talking to me. Lower your voice when you're talking to me, because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Teray, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Teray, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you professionally. That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
So I want people to pay attention real quick. So if I remember correctly, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, she's accredited, she's a therapist, whatever it is. And she decided I want y'all to understand, she's talking directly to a black man who's married. She said that he is very gentle. She said that he is very soft. She said that sarcastically. She said that to attack his manhood, right? She said that to emasculate that man. What she's basically trying to say is the exact same thing that I've said 99 times that happens to black men and young black boys in the black community, where the girls and the women there, if they disagree with what it is that a man is saying, or better yet, what a male is saying, they're automatically going to attack his manhood and be like, you're gay. That's when she keeps repeatedly saying, like, yeah, you're soft, you're gentle, you're gay, you're not man enough. Don't try to raise your voice to me. We're not going to do that. You're too soft here. That's what she's doing. And she's doing this either live or on some type of recording. And she's doing this in front of the whole world to sit up there and see. So I want people to understand. So there's going to be a lot of black men out here that's going to use this clear cut as an example of how you got an educated black woman directly out here talking to a black man on his platform and attacking him, over talking him, getting loud, being real masculine in behavior, real combative in the argument for no reason. He's the host. He's trying to end the show. She already had the last word. He's supposed to close it. And he was going directly off of what it is that she stated. He said two things, right? Technically a play on words. She said, gentle men. He did the same thing. He did two. He said gentle men, right? And he said like, hey, yeah, that's what the world really needs. More gentle men, right? Number one, we already know. And again, if you're a woman that does, like men that are either into their feelings or that are gentlemen, then go off directly to the side. For the rest of those women directly out there, y'all do not like dudes who are in touch with their feelings or who even shed a tear, because we know specifically the only time that women allow men to actually shed a tear is if a child dies, if they lose a spouse, if somebody important died in their family. Those are realistically the only times that you're allowed to sit up there and cry and still be allowed to be a man. Or to the further extent, if you're a guy that's like 60s and the 70s, it's fine if you cry. It's no problem. They're not going to sit up there and say that you're not a man. And then the other thing that he was saying, gentlemen, again, a lot of women do not like gentlemen. We've seen this all over TikTok. We've seen this all over social media. We've seen this in mainstream media. Wherever women are able to speak and they got platforms and they're prominent, they're directly up there. You've heard women speak down directly on gentlemen. It was like, no, I need a man that's going to sit up there and do this and do that. I don't want somebody that's going to be gentle with me. I don't need a gentle man. I don't need nobody to open those doors for me. I don't need nobody to try to carry me or try to help me out or try to do this or try to do that. I can do everything. I can do, what was the main thing from one of those movies? I can do bad all by myself. And that goes right back to what the black woman said before with the wedding ring, where she was sitting up there saying that a lot of women been tricked into this whole thing of being independent. And now you got Miss Bryant basically showcasing every single thing that black men have been talking about in the quote unquote educated form, right? She's the prettiest talking head directly out here. She's highly educated. Everybody loves and everybody listens directly to her. And now she's sitting up here acting ratchet. She's a doctor, quote unquote, but now she's sitting up there acting ratchet. She's talking just like the women that you would see up here, in the hood. Like I said, this is crazy, but you're supposed to be a professional. Well, let's keep going.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold
talk
on,
to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Stop talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
Are we ready?
So question, right? And again, she's going with the whole thing of trying to say that he's real feminine, that he's gay, right? That he's really not a man. Cause she was like, you need to tap into your gentleness real quick. So let me get this straight, right? So as a man, he needs to tap into his gentleness while you're in your masculine. Is that what I'm getting? Because I'm trying to figure out, didn't people sit up there and say online that she's gone through, quite a few relationships or maybe some engagements or whatnot, whatever, and magically nothing stuck? I can see why. I completely understand why. Her mouth is horrendous. Her mouth is ratchet. Ain't no man, like I said, and I keep trying to tell a lot of women this, it don't matter how pretty you are. If your mouth and your attitude is like this, don't no man want you. They might be there for an hour. They might be there for a day, maybe even a week, but ain't nobody making a long-term stay. And this is how normal everyday women beat out women that look like Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. That's how that happens. That's why you got a lot more normal women out here married versus this woman here. Her mouth is completely ratchet, but she's educated though. She's a professional though. And this is how she's carrying and acting directly online. after already over talking a black man, not once, not twice, not three times, but several times. And on top of that, like he listed, he was like, yo, we already had a conversation before we got online. We already had a team meeting about this ahead of time. So it's like, why are you doing this right now? That's crazy. Let's keep going.
I've been ready. Been ready. Ariba, Frank, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yep. You ready to wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
And then we'll speak off camera. Here we go.
We always ask, when should a parent be held responsible for their children's behavior, whether it's at school, tantrum in Walmart, whatever? Let's flip the lens. There's a difference between the parent mourning a child lost to violence and the one silently praying because their child pulled the trigger. To continue to see the show and support Black media, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Truth Talks Live, where you can catch us every night at 8 p.m. EST and at 11 p.m. EST. Support Black media at Cashapp, Truth Talks Live, or on any of the links on your screen. Get your Truth Talks membership today. Click here on the screen and you can choose from 3 different exciting tiers. Black media is under attack and this show is being shadow banned. So support us by telling a friend to tell a friend to check us out every night at 8 p.m. See you next time on our channel.
Good night, y'all. Life works.
Like I said, man, this whole thing was that was a whole mess. And you of course had what is it? I gotta add his footage directly to this. You had Mark Lamont, I think, coming up and trying to block for Cheyenne Bryant. And he was like, yeah, people keep bringing up this old footage. It don't matter if it's old or not. Like, dog, that's her. She showed, like, this is what I want people to understand. Like, she showed the real her, everything that she was basically giving off when it dealt with what was it, Shannon Sharp and Nick Cannon and Cam Newton. When it dealt with not Shannon Sharp, when it dealt with Nick Cannon and Cam Newton, women everywhere. Oh yeah, she really got him. She really told him directly what it was. Like, yeah, that's the truth that they needed. Yeah. She didn't sugarcoat nothing. She was doing a fake act. That was the fake version of her. That was the fake version. What you saw right here, where she was really talking to this black dude and she was trying to really dig into him and call him gay and all that. Yeah, that's her. That's her. Like I said, I already saw it. I saw this miles away. Like I said, it's only so long women like this can sit up there and keep up that facade of like, oh, I'm so educated. I can talk so eloquently and, use the largest words and use all of these definitions to, dance rings around people who don't have the type of education that all right. Yeah. Okay. And then all of that fell directly down and you went ratchet, 100% ratchet. 100% ratchet. Talking about you better. What? And if he didn't, what were you going to do, Miss Bryant? As a woman, as a doctor, an educated woman that you are, what were you going to sit up there and do to that man if he didn't stop? That's what I'm talking about, dog. Like this whole thing, like I said before, you're going to have fields of dudes sitting up there like using this online. I promise you. Whenever conversations come up and they want to make an example like how black women are, they're going to go directly to Dr. Bryant. They're going to go to they're not going to sit up there and deal with just like the basic and the average and the everyday. They're going to go to where it is that no person has gone before. They're going to look at the educated. They're going to look at the ones that's accredited with the degrees. They're going to do that. They're going to go to the ones with the prettiest of the prettiest faces directly up there that everybody acknowledges and loves. They're going to go directly there. Like I said, it's crazy work. That is 1,000% crazy work. Yo, D Love, what is up? He says she is a disappointment. You know what? What else is a disappointment? You had one individual that decided to pull up to the scene and they wanted to body block directly for this lady here. And it's going to sound pretty crazy when she gives her example.
Why are you all so upset?
So, right, I'm sorry that it's so loud. Maybe I might have to turn it down on my end, right? But everybody should know exactly who this is, right? And we're going to listen to her, and the example that she gives, and I'm going to point out to you guys, I'm going to stop it and pause it every now and again to point out why this is so problematic, right?
Best about Cheyenne Bryant. I'm beginning to think that this is a bot thing. Why are you so obsessed about this? Like, okay, she lied. I could see if she lied and like harmed people, but she was on my podcast and she was brilliant. I think it's fucked up that she lied. You know, and then that's that. The need to, if y'all went this hard against like Kamala Harris for supporting a genocide, then like, what would that would matter to me? There's no match. I don't need to have some type of debate with Cheyenne Bryant. At the end of the day, for some reason, she felt like she needed to lie about credentials.
Let me just go back to that.
We live in a world where we act like credentials.
Right? I just want to pause it right there. Those were her words.
To lie about credentials.
Right? So, matter of fact, let me just get that. So that's a very great pause right there. So again, this is what Amanda Seales stated. I didn't state that. I'm just going to sit up and state allegedly because I ain't trying to sit up there and have somebody come directly after me. Allegedly, right? So she's basically stating that quote unquote Dr. Bryant fabricated details. And within that, she's still defending her, saying, like, why does it matter? What? That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. I've never. This is a new level of quote unquote being a girl's girl. Where now we're at the point where folks are like, hey, it don't matter if you lied about your credentials or what it is that you did. It's like it is what it is. People need to leave her alone. She ain't doing nothing wrong. Word. If a black dude pulled up to the scene lying about his credentials, I want y'all to understand that he will be crucified online. Nobody will be trying to justify him lying. Even other guys out here, they'll be like, dog, why did you lie? It's like you could have just decided to talk directly from the hip. You didn't have to lie about your credentials. Like, that's making all of us, like, guys would sit up there and call that out. It wouldn't be like, no, man, like, people need to leave him alone. Like, he lied, but it's, it is what it is. Nah. And then the craziest part is within this exact same video, she's going to sit up there and bring up Kevin Samuels. And I'm like, how are you trying to make a parallel to this? Because Kevin Samuels at no point in time said that he was Dr. Kevin Samuels. He just said that he was Kevin Samuels. And he was speaking on being a, relationship coach. It was multifaceted, right? Speaking directly to women, relationship coach, working with businesses, also telling men how it is that they need to move and act and dress and smell and clean and do all of the things that they need to sit up there and do as men. And it's like she's going to go with the exact same thing that all these other women basically stated, because this is when they caught up to Kevin Samuels, when he got popular. She's going to be like, well, you also had, what's that man's name? I can't even remember his name. She knows exactly who it is. You had Kevin Samuels, right? And she can only remember the times of which the clips were out there, where the most popular clips, where it was black women directly up there, and he was sitting up there saying this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff, because that's what sells. That's what's marketable. That's the only thing that people cared about. They're not going to sit up there and clip any of the footage where out of the hours of the live streams that he was doing where black women showed up there, it was like, you know what, Kevin Samuels, you were right. Thank you for telling me the truth and what it is that I needed to hear. You saved my relationship. You saved my marriage. You made me a better woman. You have those clips up there. But women like this don't want to sit up there and bring those up and talk about it. I happened upon Kevin Samuels back when he was getting directly on guys, when they were sitting up there trying to make it seem like they were just the ish. Dude would be like 5'3", 350 pounds, and the dude sitting up there talking like he's like a 6'6" Herculean god. And Kevin Samuels had to bring that dude back down to earth. He was like, dog, you're not a 6 foot male. You ain't sitting up there slinging like you say that you are. You obese. You probably smell. You probably don't take care of your hygiene. You probably don't know how to dress. Right? You work in a mediocre job and you sitting up here trying to tell women that you deserve 8s, 9s, and 10s. It's like you need to wake up. And this is the type of stuff, like I told people before, the exact same energy that Kevin Samuel started off giving directly to men is the exact same energy he gave directly to women. But nobody wants to look at that because that's not what sells. What sells is that, oh, we got a black man up here with a platform and he's talking crazy to black women. That's all people cared about. That's all people talked about. Like I said, people were too dumb to sit up there and do their own research to look back at videos. Like, it's crazy out here, man. Crazy. But anyways, my bad. Let's keep going. I'm sorry.
I don't know why. I think part of the reason is because we live in a world where we act like credentials is what determines somebody's effectiveness across the board. And in some respects, it is absolutely necessary. And in her respect, it actually wasn't necessary for her to do the work that she does. That being said, I just don't care. I don't care. She was on my podcast and she was incredible. I don't care. I think it sucks, and I think it was not smart, and I think that at the end of the day, there are people who work really hard to get doctorates. There are also people who call themselves doctor when they get an honorary doctorate, and I don't think that's much different. I don't think it's much different. Maya Angelou was walking around calling herself Dr. Maya Angelou. She didn't complete a doctorate. Some university gave her a doctorate. Which university was it? Was it Spelman? I think it was Spelman. So I just don't. Yeah, Maya Angelou had an honorary doctorate. She didn't complete a doctoral. She didn't do doctoral study. So I think it's like a false, it's like faux rage to be like all up in arms about this one person. So someone here said, this one person is influencing vulnerable Black people and therefore they are causing harm. It's funny how you can hand wave that away so callously. How is she causing harm? How is she causing harm? Is she giving bad advice? Is she invoking folks to harm themselves? How is she causing harm? She is falsely using a title to give people, to endear people to trust her more.
That is technically within that. That's harmful. That's like if I decided to sit up there and tell people that I'm a doctor and I'm out there giving like some type of medical advice. People are going to believe me because it has doctor before my name. So automatically within that, there's some sense of trust. That's like, okay, well, if he has doctor, you know, and is the name is title, then he obviously must be a doctor. A lot of people that mess with doctors, they're not checking those doctors' credentials. Like I said, how many we just had a whole thing with Africans having fake credentials dealing with nursing. You got a whole bunch of fake nurses directly out here running amok out here in the United States, and don't nobody know nothing about it because they're not checking their credentials. Like I said, that's causing harm because they didn't go through the proper schooling. They didn't go through the proper channels. Nobody checked to make sure that they know what it is that they're specifically doing. But yet they're in these nursing homes. They're working with kids. They're working with teenagers. They're working in hospitals. They're working with pediatricians. Like I said, but those women are liars. And like I said, if I decided to tell people that I was a doctor, so there, if a car crash happens, hey, that man over there, he's a doctor. Hey, doc, come over here. This person is severely injured. And then if I decided to administer care, or if I tried to give some words of advice, quote unquote, being a doctor, and those were the wrong words, and now that person went from being okay to now they're paralyzed because they moved and they weren't supposed to move. Wouldn't that be considered harmful? Like I said, I lied for my. If I Vegas, I'll put it like this: if I lied and told people that I'm a doctor, I'm lying for my own selfish benefit. If you have other people out here lying about their credentials, they're lying for their own selfish benefit. That within itself is harmful because you're doing it. You don't care about nobody else. You're only doing it for yourself. You're only doing it because you can monetize and make money directly off of it. And you know that 9 times out of 10, ain't nobody going to check behind you because of who it is that you are and how it is that you look. Like I said, when you got a woman that's very attractive, nobody's checking credentials. An attractive woman can lie and say that she got $20 million. Nobody's about to check her bank account. That's just the fact. Nobody's checking her bank account because realistically, don't nobody care like that. If it looked like she got it, then it looked like she got it. But like I said, you know, you got folks out here that fake it till they make it, and it works. It works.
That's whack. Causing harm? I don't know, playa. I think your version of harm is really loose compared to how much harm is being caused to Black people in real life. Cheyenne Bryant is not causing Black people harm, the same way that Jussie Smollett was not causing Black people harm. And yet people will never let him live that down. Okay, she has no credentials. Is what she's saying, is she useful? Is she helpful? Like, I mean, the amount of people, here's the thing. If the issue is you're like, well, she didn't put in the work to get the PhD, and I think it's unfair for her to take credit for something she didn't put in the work for, that's fine. When y'all be like, she doesn't have credentials, I'm just kind of like, the concept of credentials at this point is very loose. It's very loose. I mean, I don't. Thank you, Val. It's like, listen to her or don't listen to her. She doesn't have any power over you. She's not doing anything legislative. She's not physically harming people. She's not mentally harming people. Hey, Alexa says, I'm a therapist and I don't give two. At the end of the day, my thing is this. We have to look at the bigger picture. If she was out here, like the fact that people still would like to quote, like this guy, what's his name? Who was the man that died? And he was like doing all of this couples counseling or whatever and he would sit there and disrespect women all day to their face. Like, what? I forgot his name. But people were swearing up and down by this man. He didn't have no credentials. Kevin Samuels. People didn't have no God. He didn't have no credentials. Listen to who you want to, don't listen.
So, by the example of Kevin Samuels, right, which is one of the most hated men on social media ever to exist, by way of women, women specifically paid to speak to him, and they also waited in line in the queue to talk to him on these live streams. So it's crazy how you want to draw like some type of parallels or comparisons. It's two different things. You don't have like Kevin Samuels had like endless amounts of people that wanted to come directly to his shows or speak to him personally. Even out there in public, people were trying to directly talk to Kevin Samuels and get advice. I'm pretty sure Cheyenne Bryant, she don't have people hawking her down, like ordinary dudes hawking her down to sit up there and try to get advice for nah. Now they might be trying to, you know, talk to her, even though it's going to fail, right? Because it's not going to make it nowhere. Like I said, she's a woman that got a certain amount of money. If you are the average guy, it ain't gonna happen. That's just normally how it works. That is just normally how it works. Whenever it is that you got, you know, women that start to, you know, education, money, all of this trips and whatnot, whatever, basic average everyday dudes that's just doing it every day, day to day, you're pretty much cut directly out of that zone. And that's because they do it. Not no more so specifically because of you, it's because they decide to cut, all of that out and focus on, the top 1% directly out there. And those top 1% of dudes ain't even really looking for women like Miss Bryant. And you hear this 99 different times. Like I said, look at Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods had a selection of Caucasian women directly out there, and he cheated on his wife with one that was like a waitress, a basic everyday waitress making below minimum wage. So there's that. There's that. But let's continue.
Okay. Like I said, Cheyenne Bryant was on my podcast and she was excellent. She helped a lot of people that day. Even before this happened, people would hit me and say, I really loved that episode. I learned a lot from that episode. I don't know why she felt she needed to lie. I don't. And I think that that's something she should talk to a therapist about, because I'm sure that there's actually something very legit at the root of that.
So at the same time of her, quote unquote, I guess this is her trying to like call that out, but she's still defending her. It doesn't, which one, like, this is what I sit up there and say, like, for a lot of women out there, this is what mixed messaging looks like. Whenever men say that women give two different types of messages, this is what we mean. So on one end, she's like, she was great for the podcast. She was great for the money and all this other type of stuff. Like, yeah, I love, Cheyenne Brown, whatever. Like, so what, she lied. And that's literally what she said. The first half, the first duration of the live stream, first duration of the video. That's what she said up there said. Like, okay, so what, she lied. And why are people still going about this? Why is this so problematic? Why is this a problem? Who did she really sit up to hurt? And now mixed messaging. Now she's like, well, it's crazy that she did, lie. And I don't know why she did, but she should go see a therapist directly about that. It doesn't really make any. Which one is it? Which one is it? It's like you say that she was good for the people, even though she lied about the credentials. And then you're sitting up there saying that even though she lied about the credentials, it was still good to use her to sit up there and make money. And it's good for, social media. And then you want to turn around on the third party. You want to sit up there and say that, oh, well, it's terrible that she lied. She shouldn't have lied. She needs to go sit up there and seek therapy for it. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Where are we going? Where are we going with this? Where are we going? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, this is what it looks like when men sit up there and say that women run from accountability. This is exactly what that looks like when the goalpost is moved. All you have to sit up there and say, instead of making this long video, just sit up there and say what you said the first few times, that it was wrong for, and again, I'm saying allegedly, allegedly, right? That she fabricated credentials. You said there was a wrong for her to do it. She shouldn't have done it. You don't know why she did it. That's all you had to do. But nope, you had to sit up there and make this long video to be a girl's girl and to sit up there and try to defend her. And then you had to bring up Kevin Samuels as a contrast. Be like, hey, look at all the stuff that Kevin Samuels was sitting up here saying. Look at all the things that he was sitting up here doing. If you're going to sit up and say that Dr. Bryant was harmful, then what was Kevin Samuels? And remember, Kevin Samuels, he wasn't some type of relationship therapist, but Dr. Bryant, she is a relationship coach and a therapist, even though she's not really a doctor. But what harm has she really set up there and come on, man? Like I said, this is why guys sit up there and say that they cannot sit up there and take women serious. Because when it's time to actually stand on something, you're trying to stand on everything. You can't specifically stand on one thing. You're trying to be an octopus and stand on everything. So it's like, hey, I'm not gonna lose in 20 different places. I might lose this one spot, but I'm never gonna lose my footing here. I ain't taking no L's. I'm taking something with me. Hey, man, yo, come on. Like, this is just all types of crazy right here. But you can't tell nobody nothing, man. And then this ain't even the worst of it. She got like I got another video. It's like 31 minutes long. I'm not even gonna put that one directly up. Like I said, it was just a whole thing that she just But we'll finish this one up though.
But ultimately, she's empowering people. She was empowering people. Everything I've seen with her has been her empowering people. And saying faces they needed to hear that weren't trying to hear it.
So remember how she said, now I want y'all to pay attention how she used the words. She said that quote unquote Dr. Bryant, right, was out there empowering people. She means women. She means women, but she used people. But then when she wanted to talk about men, and I blocked that word out, she wanted to sit up there and say that, oh, but you know, the power in Dr. Bryant, she was talking to these ninjas directly out here who didn't want to listen, and she was telling them specifically what it is that they needed to hear. What? How do you say that she's basically empowering everybody, and then when it gets to dealing with black men, it's like, wow, we're going to just directly tell you, we're going to give all the critiques, we're going to do all of this, we're going to talk about everything negative. Huh? That's why I brought up the Cam Newton and what's his face from Drumline, Nick Cannon. Like, this is crazy out here, dog. This is wild.
I mean, she told Cam Newton straight to his face, like, you're f***ed up. It is fine, because I don't even know you. You don't have a picture and you don't have a name, and you're like, we disagree, but it's fine. It is fine. You literally do not exist to me. Say that respectfully, Topher. So what levels of trauma was she guiding that she didn't have? What levels of trauma was she handling that she didn't have the credentials to guide? Was she at Bellevue?
She said Bellevue, automatically thought Batman, Nightwing.
Here's what I need y'all to really understand. Do not call me Mandy. You don't know me. Here's what I need y'all to really understand. I'm not interested in having discourse with strangers on the internet.
But you came to the internet. What? Make that make sense.
Here you are, like, you're like, oh, I have sensitivity to this particular topic because you're applying your personal experience to a situation that has nothing to do with you.
And you're applying your whole thing of being a woman and a girl's girls to defending a liar that you said was a liar. What are we talking about here? Oh my God. Brother. What are we talking about? What are we talking about right now? What? What are we talking about right now? You're saying that the person is wrong for feeling a certain type of way about the topic, but at the same time, you're in a sense inserting yourself in a way because you feel as though you and Dr. Bryant are basically on the same level or seeing eye to eye in a space that you guys are in as black women, and you decided to throw your hat in the ring and defend somebody who you stated yourself multiple times in the video is a liar. And then you're like, I'm not coming online to have discourse with complete strangers. Sweetheart, you brought yourself to the internet. The internet did not ask you to bring you. You brought yourself. Like, what is happening here? You came to the internet because you were looking for a back and forth. You were coming to the internet because you want a response. Like I said, this is why I do live streams. So it's like, I don't understand why people sit up there and say nonsense. This is why I can't take a lot of these folks that be like, oh, they're educated. And they be saying some of the most stupid. And people lit.
That's you. You are literally projecting. The woman was literally on, she's like giving like relationship advice. And I'm going to tell you, as somebody who has been to 3 different couples therapists, the credentials didn't mean it. I talking on live? Because I feel like talking, and you all want to see me talk, and you want to hear me talk. But I'm not interested in having debates with people.
But yet you're going back and forth. She don't. Oh my god. I deeply understand. I'm not a drinker myself, but I understand why some men drink. I understand it. Like I said, I sympathize with you. I understand. I understand. I understand why y'all be going to bars, going to the strip club, getting the wings and the food, having a few beers. I understand. I get it. I see it. I see it. Like I said, listening to this and then seeing the whole thing with Cheyenne Bryant, with the black man directly on that podcast. I get it. I understand. I understand. I do not fault people directly for it. I get it. I get it. Like that's crazy. Like I said, I come directly to live streams to have interactions with people, both if they agree with me or if they don't agree with me or if they're in the middle. Like I said, I'm honest directly about it. That's the fun part about doing live streams. She's talking about she just came to the internet just to sit up there and do therapy. What was this, like a therapeutic release? You could have just turned on the camera and just hit record, but that would be boring for you. You don't want to just sit there and talk to yourself. You want other people there. You're looking for a form of entertainment yourself. So, and like I said before, she could have turned off the comment section, but she didn't want to do that though. Because again, she wanted people to talk back, but she's sitting up here saying that, oh, she's not trying to do it. Man, brother, I like I said, I get tired of people. Like, I don't even have the words for it. I don't even got the words for it right now. I just, brother. Tippy, I put it to you like this. Anything that you can list that Kevin Samuels has stated negatively directly to women out here, or let me be specific, to black women, he said the exact same thing to men or black men as well. He just sat up there and talked about if a dude is specifically, slanging or not, and he was like, yo, you obviously ain't slinging nothing. You ain't knocking down no trees in the woods. It's like, why are you sitting up there lying about your size? It's like, just be honest about what it is that you got and then just work directly from there. And he specifically told the dude, he was like, well, you don't really got what it is that women are specifically looking for, so that knocks you directly out of there. You're overweight, so that knocks you directly out of there. You probably smell bad, that knocks you directly out of there. You probably don't even bathe well enough, that knocks you directly. Like I said, and this is why I sat up there and said that during the time I tried to tell a lot of women, it's like, if you really wanted to see how Kevin Samuels was talking, any and all of the energy that he's delivered directly to women out there, he said the exact same things, if not worse, directly to men. Like I said, men, we can sit up there and be honest with other dudes. Like, that's the thing that y'all don't understand. When it deals with us talking to women, we tend to hold back a lot of the times. And that's what a lot of women don't understand. They'll hear how men basically talk right now, and they'll be like, oh my God, you guys are the worst of the worst. How dare you say something like, if you actually knew how men talk to men in general, you wouldn't be able to survive. If how we talk right now is the worst of the worst, we're the second coming of the Antichrist, you would not be able to survive just being a man. Hearing other men talk to one another, just being truthful. Like I said, we talk about weight all the time. There's been a multitude of times. Let me put it to you like this for the women out there. I can't tell you how many times that us as guys have talked about other dudes being overweight or fat. Just honest. I'm like, dog, you're overweight. Like, dog, like your stomach is looking crazy out here, dog. How are you sitting up there? Like, are you putting your stomach on the backs of women like as you do? Like, we will sit up there and go in depth to get to the point of like, bro, you are out of control with your weight. You need to get this directly under control. Like, we will go in depth. Like I said, we will sit up there and neutralize how it is that we talk when it deals with women. Like I said, y'all have no understanding. Again, because y'all not men. Y'all not privy to those conversations. Because we don't record every single, like how women like to record all of their conversations, everything that they do. Men don't record any and all conversations because everything ain't for online. This is like, hey, I'm talking to my bro right now. I'm about to sit up there and like, let him know exactly what it is because he got to get right. Like I said, we'll honestly have a conversation, be like, yo, bro, you about to die. If you don't sit up there and lose this weight, brother, you about to die. It's like, dog, you shifting the sidewalk every single time you take a step. Like I said, the stuff that we say to one another, women would not be able to survive. I'm just going to be real. You wouldn't be able to survive. You wouldn't. Like your whole life would have been shattered. So, like I said before, man, yo, hey, like I said, comparison to the things that Kevin Samuels have directly stated directly to men who specifically called to get those critiques directly from Kevin Samuels, he said far worse. But women don't want to admit that because it's within the code of quote unquote, I'm always a victim. There's always men coming after me, even though Kevin Samuels was not searching and looking for women. Women were coming and searching for him. That's another thing that a lot of women leave out. Kevin Samuels wasn't calling these women's phones. He wasn't calling their Skype or their Google numbers. These women were waiting in a lined queue to get directly to him so that they can get his opinion, his critique, or that talking to. Like I said, it's crazy out here, man. This whole narrative of folks always want to be a victim like that. It's wild to me. And like I said, I didn't have conversations directly with, some of the guys that I've known in high school because I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to sit up there and bury people early. You can't have that conversation, woman. You can't sit up there and tell a woman like, yo, you're overweight right now. You need to work on your weight because if you don't, I'm going to have to carry you. We want to be sitting up there carrying you in a casket. And in some instances, you're not going to have enough men to carry you in a casket. Like we can't have, we know for a fact because of how sensitive women are, we can't have that conversation. You can barely have a conversation with a woman when it deals with something that she's wearing. Like I said, it's already too sensitive. It's already getting too hot in here. Like I said, this is why guys would rather sit up there and just have conversations and be honest directly with other men because only men can handle that. And that's just a bar. I don't care what nobody has to sit up there and say. Only men can handle honesty from other men. Women cannot handle honesty from men. If you give one subtle critique, it could be like, hey, the way that you were sitting up there talking as a woman is not woman-like. You do that automatically, oh, you're gay. Just say that you're not man enough to handle a strong woman like this. You're so weak and feminine to make a comment like that. Your dick must be small. Like I said, they'll start saying a whole bunch of egregious type of stuff that don't have nothing to do with what was stated. But like I said, as people have stated, this is a woman hating network. This is WHN, Women Hating Network. Like I said, it's crazy. Oh yeah, Mo said, yeah, bro, you want some gum? Yeah, I didn't. Let me tell you something. I'm automatically sensitive about a lot of stuff because I think about myself a lot. So I'm like, yo, if I'm going to do certain things in public to basically make sure that I'm good, like I said, I used to carry like some scope. I used to have like gum or whatever it was. Like I even carry like extra like deodorant or like Axe spray. Because like I said, I understand like everybody's, like different like body weight and everything like that. So if I'm making sure that I smell good and I'm good when we out, I'm making sure that, my guys are good. It's like, yo, you need to hit up this deodorant, hit up this Axe real quick. It's like, yo, it's getting kind of hot, man. You gotta hit up that Axe real quick. You might need to sit up there, like, you might have to hit up the bathroom, you might have to wash up on your arms real quick, and then just apply something real quick. Like I said, like that's how we sit up there and move. If I'm good, I'm gonna sit up there and make sure that the guys that I'm with, like, we all good. Ain't nobody about to be out of like disarray or whatever it is. And like I said, even if it was like somebody that was like overweight, it's like, yo, let's sit up there and start walking. Like, yo, let's start like playing some horse. Let's go to the park and start doing some hoops or something like that, get some movement going. Like I said, you ain't about to be doing it by yourself. Like I said, if I'm already in shape, I'll be in better shape. Or if I'm out of shape and you out of shape, we both about to be sitting up there getting in shape. Like I said, that's like I said, this is how guys move because we have an understanding of stuff. You can't do this with women. I don't care what nobody has to say. You can't. You cannot roll up to a woman and sit up there and say like, "Yo, hey, you're looking out of shape right now. I got some plans. We can sit up there and work out and hit up the." Nope. Automatically crime, bloody murder. It's over for you. It's curtains. You getting crucified directly online. Women everywhere are going to be sitting up there trying to dox you. They're going to be saying that you're the worst of the worst and all this other. Like I said, it's all bad. It's all bad. Like I said, it's crazy. Bro said men and women need to really stop the personal attacks when debating. I mean, normally men don't happen to make personal attacks. Usually what happens, like I said, going back to Miss Bryant, she was the one that started making personal attacks on the black dude that was a part of the panel, basically trying to insinuate that he was gay or that he wasn't man enough to basically take the reins of this conversation. This is why you heard her voice basically in a sense lower, and she started getting way more boisterous and trying to overtalk him, right? Trying to impose her authority, even though she's a woman. Like I said, it's crazy. Like I said, it's wild work. Wild work. 100%. Let me see. Jen said, go to one of those bird baths in the sink real quick. Yeah. Like I said, especially when you're out, like I said, like guys know, like if you ever been out and you might have been, let's say, like playing basketball or something like that, and y'all still like walking out or whatever. Like I said, I used to have like the drawstring book bag. It had all the deodorant and stuff. I might even have like a washcloth or something directly in there, or something. Maybe you might have to use the paper towel if it's strong enough. You get the paper towel, you get the soap that's directly in the bathroom. You lather that directly up, and you start hitting directly up under your arms and around like the areas and whatnot, and even your neck. And then once you do that, you make a few passes again with some wet paper towel to get the excess soap directly off, because it may irritate the skin. And then you start drying directly off, let it air dry, and then you apply everything that you need to apply, and you're good. Like I said, only men can have these conversations and let people know, like, yo, man, it ain't smelling kind of rank. It ain't smelling too hot right now, man. You might want to sit up there and check that real quick. You might need to sit up there, have like a change of clothes with it. And again, that's why guys would also have like a change of clothes if they're playing basketball. Like you got your hoop gear, and then you got the gear that you about to walk around and all this other type of. Like I said, man, hey, you can't have these conversations with everybody. Like I said, women always lie and say that they want honesty from a man. That is a 100% lie. Do not believe it. You cannot be honest with a woman. That is just a bar. It does not work. Like I said, fairy tales are lies, and a lot of women and girls believe in fairy tales, which are lies. So if you got women and girls believing in fairy tales, what do you think that reality is? You again, you're going to have to sit up there and lie. These are just bars. Lies are more acceptable than the truth. I'm not lying. What do people sit up there normally say? You got to fake it till you make it. You have to lie in order to make it and get the end result of what it is that you are specifically wanting or looking for. That's what fake it till you make it is. You're lying. Like I said, if reality was what it was, nobody would have to lie in order to get somewhere. You know? Bro said, you're right. Miss Bryant started it during this example, and I agree. Somebody said you can't trust black folks with blonde hair. Yo, Shauna, what is up? What is up? He said, I am too, Seji. You're not the. It looked like you wrote like I'm not your only one, but you said you said I am too, Seji. You're not the only one. You got to do a self check. I do that with my friends. Bars. Like I said, if you actually like care about your friends, like yo, you're gonna sit up there and look out for them. And like I said, hey, that's what you got to do. Everybody moves as a unit. No freedom. What is up? You said every time women lose argument or get mad, it always goes to the small. You must be very small or being gay. Yep. That's crazy. The man named himself Diddy. You said One, don't tell a woman, is your hair real? She will get pissed. Shauna said, but seriously, Seji, women need to stop making a text to against everybody. I don't care who you are. I think I get what you're saying on that one. I think I get what you're saying. Bro said disrespectful behavior, no matter the gender or the race, but it is despicable. She chose to interrupt and speak loudly over him. TB said, yes, you can. Do you know how many black women are in the gym working out trying to lose weight? I mean, Timmy, I didn't say that black women were in the gym. What I'm saying is that black men cannot have the same way that we're honest with one another, the same way that black men are honest with other black men on a lot of stuff when it is a hygiene and stuff. You can't have that same honesty with women. That's what I'm saying. So, like I said, if I sat up there and decided, like a woman, I've had somebody sit up there. I had a woman sit up there to me like, "Yo, it look like you gaining some weight." Da da da. I'm like, I'm not even sure how I'm supposed to sit up there and take that because if it was reversed, because I'm thinking on mine, I'm like, if I was a guy and I said to a woman, I'm like, "Yo, it look like you gaining weight," automatic, it's over. It's over. You might as well have thrown you might as well gotten your ticket and thrown yourself into the pits of tartars. Like it's over for you being a guy. Like you're going to be talked about. It's about to be rah rah rah, all this other type of stuff. But like I said, if a woman says it in reverse, men don't react. Men aren't overreacting. Men aren't overly thinking or whatnot or whatever because like okay whatever, like okay I gain weight and say I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with that. Right? It's for us. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. So again, we can sit up there and take the truth. If somebody looks at it like, "Hey, you gain weight," I'm like, "Yeah, I've been sitting up there eating." If you tell a woman that, it's like, "Oh my god, it's the end of the world." It's like out there, you just sit up there and called me fat, and I just I don't know how to do it. It's going to be that whole thing. Now she needs therapy. Now she needs therapy. Um, you said what was that, like 100 million? Real ish. Always keep a spare set of clothes in my truck, even when I was a teenager. Everybody be like, "Why your book bag looks so heavy?" Yeah, you gotta keep clothes. You never know what's gonna happen. No Freedom said, remember the movie when the general stated that you can't handle the truth. Oh yeah. You talking about Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth. Yeah. Yep. Shauna said, I feel like women should do that also. I got you. Um, what was it? Shauna also said, and I feel like they only do that because they're ashamed of there is something about themselves that they don't like. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about right there. Tippy said, and black men need to be muscular and go gain muscle. It's a little bit different, Tippy. Every black man ain't built the same. All men are not created equal, right? So you got women out here that automatically fantasize about a dude looking like Hercules or something, or looking like an atomic pit bull, right, on roids. And I'm like, every guy has different testosterone levels or different, muscle density or muscle genetics. So even if dudes work out, some dudes are not going to really, have like cuts and muscles. Like that stuff that like what a lot of women don't understand is that takes work. Like women automatically think that it takes work just like working out and trying to lose weight. It does. But trying to work out, lose weight to the point where your muscles are showing, and then on top of that, you're trying to cut and define those muscles, that's a lot of work aesthetically, right? And the aesthetics, like I said, when guys do it, it's like, yeah, we do it to sit up there and like look great. And we know that we're going to get a lot of compliments for it. But the end result is like, hey, women are going to be trying to sit up there and touch on me. They're going to be trying to feel on me. I don't have to really do much. They're just going to come up to me. Hey, that's the door opener for me to have a conversation, right? So a lot of women don't understand that it takes a lot of work and exercise every single day. And even beyond every single day, you're doing certain workouts per hour. You might be doing like 10 or 15 or 20 or something to make sure you get certain types of like cuts or definition, directly on the sides of the arms or whatever it is. So, like I said, women don't actually understand how much work it actually takes to look the way that they imagine men should actually look when it deals with a muscular, physique and stuff like that. Yo, what is up, Sonny? Sonny said, females are fascinating by Wait, what? What is the last part? Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. I don't know the lingo there, Sonny. Let me tell you. Y'all be throwing me off sometimes. Let me tell you. Gail said y'all better tell them if they smell like fish. Hey, no, let me tell you, Gail, what normally happens, right, is that if there's an instance where a woman has like a smell, guys will probably bear through it to be nice because we understand how sensitive women are. But other times guys will just sit up and be like, all right, it's nice, like, talking to you when I got I got a job interview. I gotta fix my car. I gotta help my homeboy, like move because he wasn't able to rent, a truck or whatever, and we got to start packing early because you going to like a whole nother, like, again, you're gonna start hearing like a lot of other stuff, and again, like I said before, that's guys being nice because we know what happens if we decide to be honest. And guys ain't really trying to be confrontational. Guys would rather sit up there and lie to spare the feelings, to be nice, versus directly tell a woman that, hey, XYZ, this is what's going on directly with you. Hey, you might want to get that looked at. Because again, you can't be honest. We're going to allow the next person to be honest if they decide to sit up there and do it. And if not, then you might be waiting like 20 or 100 people. Like I said, I don't know. People going to have to figure it out. Yeah, I know. Oh, no, I got you. I got you, Jen. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Moving as a unit. I got you. Trust me, I got you. I got you. Tippy said, black men, all of them need to be muscular, and all black women need to be slim thick. They're solved it. Let's look like Viltrumites. This woman. This woman, let me tell you something. Bro said, you're sure every single woman would react like that, LOL. Yeah, in a lot of cases, yeah. Like I said, I've just given critiques, and I've received, all types of whatnot or whatever. Like I said, like I said, as a content creator, I've done videos giving critiques, and I've gotten in my own comment section where people or women have pulled up to the scene and wanted to question my sexuality. One is to either say oh, you probably just sit up there and be dating like white women. You don't even like black women. Matter of fact, you're probably gay anyway, and you're probably just jealous of women. I'm like, dog, just because I did a video and had some commentary, this is where we going? Like I said, man, it's tough out here. Let me tell you, bro, I've been here for a long time. It is a tough road. The stuff that I've had women basically say to me, I've even had the point of, like, because I gave a critique on certain stories, where I had women say that I enable and allow DV and grape to happen to women, that I am an enabler of any and everything negative that happens to black women every day, that I basically allow it and enable it. And I'm like, how did we get that Jordan type of leap in this conversation? I'm like, like I said, I'm mind blown. I am God smacked. A lot of the times I see some of these comments out here, like I said, is wild to me. Like I said, some of the most wildest stuff that I had women say to me. But if I even said not even close to 1 ounce of what they said up there and said, I'm crucified. Folks would be trying to cancel me and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, man, it's crazy. It is 1,000% crazy. Shauna said, you got me. You got everything I'm saying, Seji. Okay, I got you. None of you said nasty comments. Tacky. Robert said, my little brother inherits those genetics and never works out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, some dudes, like, they're blessed. Like, God was like, hey, I got you. Stand still. Bow. You never have to work out. Eat everything that you want. You never have to work out. And it be like that. It'd be like that. Hey, like I said, shout out to your brother. Tippy said, black people need to stop cheating on each other, stop lying, stop having sex with randoms. Men need to stop lying to women just to sleep with them, and women stop lying to men just to get money. Robert Platinum said he has 6-packs, the veins, everything. Sonny said, people don't criticize me enough. I definitely consider it, but I'm usually told you act like nobody can tell you anything, which really means there's barely a time they get to. I mean, it'd be like that. Like certain people, like they can just automatically look at somebody. It's like, yeah, I'm not even about to do it. I've been there. I'm like, there's certain things I can sit up there and like see, and I'm like, yo, I feel like I can tell this person something so they can just like straighten this little bit of something. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, it'll be a waste of time. I'm not doing it. I'm like, hey, you're perfect the way that you are. And I'm just walking. I just keep it just like that. I ain't saying nothing. Like I said, sometimes you got to pick and choose your battles. Shout out to my mom. You know, it's the main thing. She still, tells me to this day, pick and choose your battles, and that's exactly what I do. You know. You said I inherited more of the European physical genetics. Hey, it be like that. It be like that. Mo said I told one girl my stomach hurts. Yeah. Hmm. Robert said in college, a lot of women smelled like a fish market. Oh, that's crazy. Shauna said plus women. You said plus women. The only time they say that is when they're trying to dig out another person, or put somebody down. Oh yeah. I got what you're saying. Sonny said, "Nah, you look like a wisdom tooth in them legs." Bro was like, Jesus Christ. The money said, I told a girl her backshot air smelled like number two at Burger King. Was I wrong? That's why. That's Jesus Christ. That's wild. You're a brave man. You're a brave man. Brave man, let me tell you. Like I said, a lot of men have stories. A lot of men got some war stories directly about here. Let me tell you that a lot of women don't know nothing about. But it'd be like that because we're guys. We're not normally going to say anything up until women take it too far, and then that's when everything comes directly out, and then the guy is the horrible person. But it's like we didn't start this. We might have ended it, but we did not start this. It didn't have to get this far. Men don't want to go towards the nuclear option. When you get into an argument with a woman, it's automatically a nuclear option. They're pressing that button like 13 times. It's like the whole world is in a plume of like green gamma radiated smoke. Like it's crazy. You know, men are like, I don't really want war. I don't. It's like I'm not even trying to seek this out. But it's like with women, beep 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 beep, beep just pressing the button. No, Freedom said, "Be careful. She might get the Viltrumites from the animation series with the big belly." That's crazy. Robert said, "Women used to feel on me at my job, and I didn't mind it at all." Yeah, men don't, because it's like we work for this. This is what I worked for my whole life. Touch everything, and women don't understand that because, like, initially, women, are automatically put on this earth. Like they're automatically looked at. They're automatically sought directly after. They're automatically deemed as beautiful without any work having to be done, or getting some type of attention. When it deals with guys, it's like, nah, you're automatically the ugly duckling up until you can show otherwise. I'm like, you got to work your way out of prison. That's how tough it is, you know. What was it, bro? Said not trying to argue by those examples. Sounds like the women's insecurities. It doesn't sound personal. It sounds like they're ashamed of themselves. Tippy said, like I said, all black men need to be muscular and know how to fight, learn how to fix your own car, save money, go learn how to hunt meat, be nice, and see more muscular black men go hunting. LOL. This woman. Signal said, tethers have destroyed our beauty. Sonny said, it's interesting when they see black men loving each other better than they would. Tippy said, I would love to see more. This woman, let me tell you. Lord have mercy. This woman here. Robert said a lot of women in our community preemptively assume the worst about us, and no matter what we say, they use it to validate their pre-existing assumptions. Brett said, black men, keep doing what you're doing, build yourselves up, and build your communities. Keep supporting each other and protecting boundaries. Things get better when you trust your circle. That's true. That's true. Ty said, I hate everything I'm hearing right now. Yo, what's up, Ty? We got Mo in here. Shout out to Skynet. It said like, subscribe, share, and comment. Troll at your own risk. Bars. No Freedom said, I once asked my friend, how does he know what that tastes like? And since he said the food was awful, he looked at me and said, I've been with a few women. Ooh, That's rough. That's rough. That man got war stories. That man he got some war stories. I feel for that man. That's crazy. Yo, that is wild. That is wild. Timmy said, "Well, it's men's fault. Y'all let women do whatever and be reckless. LOL. Men can change laws, so why don't they?" Wait, I'm confused. Tippy, wait, what were we talking about here? Like, what you talking about changing laws? I'm a little bit confused. I don't know what you're talking about right now, Tippy. I feel like you just jumped off to like a whole nother cliff. I'm not sure where you're going, Tippy. Um, what was it? Let me go back. Let me go back. James C said, "Yeah, I guess maybe you can." Sonny said, "Yep." Mephisto, what is up? You said, "Not true. Women let women do whatever they want. Let's be honest. Women barely correct other women. It's go girl." Bruh said, "LOL. I love your reading voice and emphasis." Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Normally I am not a great reader. Let me just say, I normally am not a great reader. You can ask anybody here. A lot of typos, a lot of mess ups. You know, it happens. Imperfectly perfect. That's what I normally sit up there and state. It'd be like that though. But hey, if something is obviously working, obviously the coffee must be helping. Haven't had coffee in a minute, so maybe that's the caffeine is getting me. So shout out, much respect and appreciation. Mo said, before this man, before relations, there should be a bath or a shower before. Yeah, no. I do agree with that. I do directly agree with that. And I will sit up there and have I had that conversation with folks before? I think I have. I think I have had those conversations before, but like I said, everybody is different. I've always been a person that if you're about to, do anything with anybody, people should, hey, go take a shower, right? Go sit up there and brush your teeth. I never understood how they showcased stuff where it's like, all right, people just going for dinner and then automatically going back to somebody's house. I'm like, you do know in between dinner, people are going to the bathroom. And I'm like, yeah, that's not. And then everybody is like sweating, and you got heat and everything that happen. I'm like, yo, people should be taking like some showers or at least a bird bath. I want. There's another terminology I want to use because that's realistically what it is. But I'm just gonna say bird bath, directly in the sink or something like that. Because I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, you shouldn't be just movies and dinner and then automatically nah. It's like it's too much stuff there. You've been sitting for way too long in one fixed position. It ain't been no air moving and circulating nothing. It's like nah, it's a hot ozone directly there. It's nah. It's nah. You gotta clean up there. And I believe in that as well too. It's like, hey, brush your teeth and get some scope. Let everything be fresh. I don't understand why people want to do stuff, and then you already know what your breath smells like, but then you're doing stuff, and now you're smelling your breath with a mixture of other people's body scents. I'm like, yeah, that's not no. Like I said, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do it. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me though. Ty said why. Zibasa said uh shower don't mean ish. I don't even know what that means. Um, somebody said that, man. That bruh said it's been a great. Whoa, what? Oh, okay, that was typo. It's been great reading day for you. Hey, that's great. That is very awesome. Much respect and appreciation. Robert said the women do say that we read at a third grade level. I mean, it'd be like that. I mispronounce words all the time. Let me tell you. A lot of my moderators can tell you automatically. And they'll be in the comment section, be like, yo, Sedge, this is actually how you pronounce. What was it? Toulouse? Tulsa? Yeah, that's what it was. It was Tulsa, but I think I said Toulouse. But I think I might have been thinking about the what's the political Toulouse? I think I might have been thinking about her name because I've done a story or two directly on her. So it reverted back to that instead of Tulsa, But it'd be like that. Let me tell you, it'd be like that. But Vista said, women have hive minds. Y'all fellas remember dancing behind a girl and her friend says it's a go or not. I said, you're hyping up too much. We know this man stutters over trying. Wait, what? He said, we know this man stutters over trying to say air. It'd be like that. It'd be like that, Ty. Let me tell you, it 100% be like that. But Visitor said, I've never asked my friends if they think my girl is cute. Yeah, I've never asked that. I don't even care. Because for me, what's attractive to me is what's attractive to me. People can keep their comments directly to themselves. Like, say, I'm not inquiring. I'm not asking because I don't care. If I deem or find a woman to be attractive, that is what it is. But like I said, in reverse, women want to know that the guy that they're with is attractive and that other women find him attractive. As stated before, no woman out here is like, yeah, I got the most attractive guy that no woman wants. I've never in the history of this planet, I've never seen a woman say anything like that. Never seen a woman say anything like that. So, and also the more attention that dude gets from other women and they can visibly see this, that's the more attractive that a guy actually is to other women. It'd be like that. Bro said, let's give the man some confidence. Did we just talk about not tearing each other down? Darn it. No. Ty's playing around though. Ty's playing around though. Sonny said dudes be having, wow, that's crazy. This is why I gotta read the comments ahead of time. I swear to goodness. It's either sometimes Sonny will pull up to the scene and write some off the wall comments, or it'll be some of the other mods. I can't take y'all nowhere. Tibby said, I'm saying your men. Wait. Do you mean you men or your wait? I'm saying your men. Okay, your men, you're stronger, so why let women do whatever they want in society when you can literally force us back in? Tippy, that is a whole woman. I don't know what. I gotta take my glasses off on this one. I don't know what side. I gotta get Sham to take your phone. Lord, I don't know what side of the internet you've been on, Tippy. I need you to leave that side of the middle. That sounded like a whole other conversation. Oh my Lord, dear Lord, Tippy. You gotta relax and leave that stuff alone, Tippy. I don't know what you're reading. I don't know what books. It might be Zane or something. You gotta leave that stuff alone, Tippy. I gotta get Sham to take your phone. We gotta police your phone. We gotta police your internet privileges. Let me tell you something. That said, he has confidence, just not in his reading skills. This man, that's fire. Robert said, bird bath and the little soap pieces. Yep. Brett said, let's give this man some praise. That's a better objective than confidence. Ty said he gets praise in the areas he's good at. Reading is not one of them. Yo, this man, let me tell you. Oh, man. Bruh said, if you're stanky, get with someone without a sense of smell. I mean, that's true. That's true. But Vista said, women don't have the duty in them. Men do. Women ride only how they feel. Wait, he said bald. Oh, that's crazy. That's wild, man. That's crazy. Man, bro, right in the comment section. I said I had to correct you on saying Texas cities. Hey, it be like that. Let me tell you. Robert said, "Yep, some boxes taste like chillin'. I don't know what chillins taste like. Let me just be honest. I ain't never do that. It's not my forte. It's not my forte." Tibby said, "I'm sure a lot of women would love to stay home, cook clean. That's a job, so that requires a check. Wait. That's a job, so that requires a check. Wait, what are we talking about? People getting what? That should be a law? Nah." They be talking about being a housewife and getting paid. First of all, if you're married, the guy is sitting up there affording everything, and then you got extra monies that is allowed or whatnot or whatever. Bruss said, no one is saying, quote, I've got the hottest guy that no one else is attracted to because they don't say it. LOL. There are women who want to be with men who aren't the hottest. I've yet to see that. That's That's all I have yet to see that. Normally, women want an attractive. Well, pretty much when you look at like the world, that landscape, that point of view, right? Generalizing, women will tend to go after the most attractive guy or who other women deem to be the most attractive guy. Like I said, look at the male concerts. Like when you have, let's say, like a Tank or a Chris Brown or a Usher or any of the other male singers or rappers directly out there. You got fields of women who are getting dressed up to the nine to go directly chasing after that dude. They're not dressing to the nine or to the T or to the 10 or whatever to get a normal dude. They're not putting in all the effort. Like you got women literally, they'll get their hair done before the concert so that they can have fresh hair at the concert. Like I'm like, that's crazy. But I'm like, do you do that for your boyfriend? No. Do you do that for a guy that you're actually with? And the answer is probably no. Sunny says she wants to hunt. No, Freedom said, I never understood how people eat chitlins, especially those that stink when they cook it. Like it isn't supposed to stink like that. D Money says sounds like Tippy's advocating for men to channel their inner Ike Turner. That's crazy. Sonny said she better read the DV pamphlet. Sonny said yes. So check if your father checks clear. Bro said look at your millennial friends for these types of women. Sonny said I prefer a guy who's that's crazy. This man just writing anything, anything in the comment section. I gotta read this stuff. I gotta really skim this at a time. Let me tell you. Freedom said, "Nah. If a woman goes to a concert seeing another man, I think that is a divorce, especially if she states she went backstage and wasn't seen for a while. That's crazy." Bruh said that's a good point about Usher or Chris Brown, but that could be because there is some unobtainability. I mean, true. That's true. That's a point. That's a point. Mephisto said, look at the club VIP. It's set up for women to choose the best males financially. That's true. You know what? Never thought about that. That's a solid point. I never thought about it like that. Tippy said, men want an attractive girl. Why do you think when they get older they prey on a Tippy? How do we get here? Tippy, come on now. How do I have to bring up Drea Michelle, 40-year-old woman that's going with a young man? He's like 22. He's the same age as her son. Come on, Tippy. Or Diggy Simmons, how it was that I showcased to y'all years ago that you had black women in a comment section on IG underneath one of his photos specifically asking like, oh, look at him, like how old is he, when does he get out of high school, like I can't wait. I'm like, nobody sees this. I'm like, nobody calls this weird. But I'm like, if you saw a group of men doing that underneath some 17-year-old or 18-year-old teenage girl's photo, everybody would be calling foul. Everybody would be trying to get the FBI, the CIA, Rangers with Attitude, trying to get the Brother League, the X-Men, the Justice League. They'll be trying to get the Crime Syndicate. They'll be trying to get everybody directly on the scene to get directly at those guys. So I'm like, come on now. Come on, Tippy. This man Sonny was like, hey, at my comments, viewer discretion is advised. Let me that was funny. I had to laugh at that. That was funny. Cave said it's never like that for female celebrities. Guys don't do that. True. Ty said middle of the movie. Tippy said sick, both of them. They are both Geppettos. Sonny said, put on your 3D glasses now. This man said, we are now entering IMAX. That's crazy. No, Freedom said, 18 years old and probably a virgin without baggage. Just saying some men want to build a family, not be a stepfather. Bro said, I mean, that's weird as heck from an adult. Bars. Caveman said it would be a rap. Or raps, bars. What was it? Tippy said age of consent needs to be raised to 21. Right. So now we done went there and we didn't have this long drawn out conversation about a multitude of different topics away from Amanda Seals at this current moment in time. So now we're going to get directly back on topic with the next video. Matter of fact, yeah, actually, this fits directly within. Does it fit directly right here? Technically, it does. It's whatever. We'll just play it. It's good. Wait, or should I play the other one? Which one? Yeah. I play this one, then I'll play the next one.
Me, the capabilities of a woman, and that's when I stopped underestimating women. Being a side dude, I seen the behind the scenes. You know, like how it actually comes together and how she runs her relationship, how her dude believes her, how he would never think his woman would be out cheating. So it traumatized me. And at that point, I felt like women wasn't. At that time, I was dealing with a diverse set of women. So I was able to see how all of their friends were in on it and would conspire against her man. Then I seen the next step, how her family would help her cheat on her man. And these are good men. These are good men. Don't take my word for it. This is what the women would tell me. And I would ask them, why? Why are you cheating? I found myself worried about his feelings after a while because I was traumatized. To see how well thought out the cheating schemes were, it was a point where me and this man shared this woman maybe 50% of the time, and he never knew.
So we're able to hear this conversation, right? So let me I got you, bro. You said maybe this isn't the standard here, but it seems like when men cheat, it's cool and cheered on by their friends, but when women cheat, it's the end of the world. Cheating is gross either way. Never at a moment in time have I ever heard of conversations or whatnot or whatever, and stated that cheating was cool. Nah, that's just not the thing because you could just easily leave. It makes more sense to leave a situation versus doing any of that. Now again, people got complicated situations. Maybe people are doing stuff back and forth. That's it's probably a conversation for a whole nother time. But realistically, what should happen is that both parties should just separate and do that. But I guess it's better easily said versus being done. And we have instances, such as this, right? And the reason I want to bring this up is because I feel that, and again, going by feelings, and looking at the landscape of social media, if at a point in time this starts to really gain traction, this is going to cause a problem for this is going to open up a whole nother Pandora's box. This is going to open up a whole nother Pandora's box. It's sort of like when you had the app where women were specifically passing around photos, private photos of men, and from city to city, and it was like, yeah, this type of guy is this, that, and the third. Where it was like this just one large women's circle of, hey, we're talking about these men, and I want to talk about this dude. He may not have really done anything, but he hurt my feelings, so I want to put his business and everything about him directly out there. And that was what the T app. If this type of content really starts to gain traction, it is going to be problematic for a lot of women, especially those who are in relationships, and especially for those who are married at this moment in time. Because the main thing that I've always heard women state, and again, this is not me making it up, it's not AI, Chat GPT, Mid Journey, or any of those things directly out there. Women, ordinary women, have basically stated that women are better at cheating than men. I'm not sure who made this a race, why women out there want to make this a race as if this is something to be proud of. And again, whenever I see women talk about this, they're always cheery. They got their a smile from cheek to cheek, and they're just so high and mighty and proud of it. Like, yeah, men are just stupid when they sit up there and cheat. Like, it's crazy. But us women, it's like, yeah, we're the best ones. Like, we're not going to let you know. Like, we'll sit up there and die with the cheating. We're not going to let you know unless we want you to sit up there and find out. We just found out about men because men are stupid. They don't know how to cover their tracks. Why be proud about that? Why is that something to be proud of? All you're basically telling men is that women can't be trusted. That, but let's keep going. Whoops. Went a little bit too far.
Her friends go along with it.
Wait, let me run that back.
Worried about his feelings after a while because I was traumatized. To see how well thought out the cheating schemes were. It was a point where me and this man shared this woman maybe 50% of the time, and he never knew. He's at holiday parties, I'm at holiday parties. He's at birthdays, I'm at birthdays. And of course, she knew how to stagger them, But it was just like to see how her family played along with it, to see her friends go along with it. It just made me ask, like, why? Why are you cheating on him? And I don't dirty Mac at all. I really just genuinely wanted to know, why was she cheating on him? And it just boiled down to sex. He was a great man. If you let her tell it, he was a great man. And the majority of these women that I was dealing with said it was sex on why they were cheating on their man. It was sex. That's why I feel like women contradict a lot of what they say, especially when it comes to sex. On one hand, you would say, sex ain't, I don't care. I don't really care for sex. I don't come from sex. Being penetrated does nothing for me. And then on the other end of it, all of the women do just for sex. So I'm confused. How important is sex in a relationship? Because from a side dude's perspective, I couldn't believe that these women were doing to cheat with me just for sex. Because I was under the impression that women didn't care about sex like that. So I actually thought I had a leg up on their boyfriends and their husbands because I really felt like they liked me. I said, all right, they just met dude first. So, and with me, I never wanted to take a woman from any man. Nah, you can have her. I want to borrow her and I'll give her back. That was my mantra. I'll give her back, but just let me borrow her for a second. She'll be right back. So during that time, some women broke up with their dudes and tried to get with me. And I'm like, what the fuck do I look like getting with you? And I just seen how you operate. I seen how you operate behind the scenes. You traumatized me. The same thing you did to him, you gonna do to me. I know I'm not exempt. See, it's a lot of dudes who think they're exempt. They're the exception to the rule. You take her from her man, what you think the next man is gonna do to you? Because how you get him is how you lose him.
That's bars.
Oh, yeah, no, not me. All right, P. Not me, P. It happens to the best of them. You thinking your lady would never cheat on you is the reason she's cheating on you. You are not exempt. You're making it easier. You might as well have an open relationship. You thinking you exempt? Nah, she won't cheat on me. But the same way you got her, she cheated on her dude with you. But you're exempt because she told you everything you wanted to hear. For you to feel like you're that guy. Yeah, you're special. You're different. And as soon as she get bored with you, as soon as she don't like your attitude, as soon as you tell her no, you're going to end up like Buddy. Believe it.
Like I said, the one thing I respect is honesty, even though there was technically no accountability, because again, it takes two people to cheat. Um, and usually what tends to happen is that you got folks out here, you'll have some women out here that are clear cut in a relationship. Because again, he's talking from the perspective of being a side dude, right? We're living in a culture where you have a lot of women that are the main woman, the number one, they want to be a side. And then you have a lot of women out here that are sides that want to be the main one. And then we have the aspect of here where the side dude is like, hey, I'm starting to sort of kind of get a conscience here, even though that don't make no sense. I'm sort of kind of getting a conscience here, and I'm sort of kind of feeling a little bit sad for what's happening, to this dude, because he just don't know. I mean, you could have stopped this whole situation and you could have let him know, what's happening. Because like I said before, I can't take any type of thing here as being, sincere. Maybe he's just trying to clear his conscience or whatnot or whatever, and use that as an example to inform and to let other men out there know that this is the type of stuff that be, going on, which is great, which is completely cool. But again, you are still a part of the problem because you're allowing this to happen, right? If one person decides not to cheat, is there still cheating? Right? If it takes two people to cheat, but one person's like, I ain't about to do this, do we still have cheating? No, we don't. Like I said, you need two people. You need two people to sit up there and make this whole thing basically happen. You can't cheat with yourself, but it's crazy. It is crazy, man. It's wild out here. Like I said, folks got to be cautious. Folks got to be cautious. Now we're going to sit up there and deal with is this lady here who is a Uber driver, and this is something that I've harped on for the longest time possible. Wait, what? No, freedom said, wait, pause. I might not. Oh, you talking about some other comment? This is something that I've harped on before when it dealt with more so specifically young black women or just black women in general deciding to say things on social media or make videos. And I said that the internet is forever. That whatever you use, whatever you put directly up there, sooner or later it will be used against you. You will face penalties for your actions. And I told people you better be very certain. If you're going to put this up there, you better stand by everything that you set up there and said, and don't be too shocked when the cards fall where it is that they may, right? So she's going to give an example of what took place with a young woman that was going out for a job.
And I just had this young lady get out of my car, and I figured I needed to pass this information on. I just picked her up from Chick-fil-A, and it was her first day. And she was super excited. She had been looking for a job. She really wanted to work there. She was younger, and but she got in the car and it looked like she had been crying. And I don't want to pry. Like, if you want to talk about it, you can, but I'm just trying to take you where you got to go, right? So she was like, yeah, today was my first day, and they let me go. And I was just like, okay. Did they give you a reason? Because I used to work in HR for years, and I used to be a recruiter, so I was just, wondering, and she was black, so cause I was just like, hey, what was the reason? And she was just like, well, when I got there, they pulled me into the office, and it was the manager and it was the GM or whatever, like at that location, and she was like, they were like, are you aware of this particular company's values? And she was just like, yeah. I'm like, you're a Christian organization? He was like, it's not about being a Christian organization. We're talking about like the character, morals, integrity, things like that. We're just talking about as a business standpoint, not necessarily a Christian business or organization. So she was just like, well yeah. And he was just like, well, we wanted to show you this. Pulled his phone out and showed her own video that was, I don't know if it was on Instagram or TikTok, and in the video, she was going on a rant and a rave about how she hated white people. I just let her finish. And she was just like, yeah, and it was like, well, unfortunately, you know, this doesn't line up with our core beliefs and values here at, you know, at Chick-fil-A, but this won't light up with any organization or company. No employer is going to be okay with an employee doing this openly. You would be a representation of us. He was like, you already know, and it was a younger guy. He was like, you already know. As soon as somebody is racist out there, cancel culture goes straight for their job. And they'll go and tell their job this, that, and whatever. And we just want to get ahead of that right now. Because if somebody sees you or can put two and two together, they literally can come harassing us and kind of letting us know about you. And we don't agree with that. And they were like, you know, hand in, you know, bring your uniform back in and give us your badge, whatever. Woo. And so I went to go pick her up. And I told that young lady, I said, you have to be very careful what you do and what you say, period. There's a whole bunch of people out here that are hateful and racist and this, whatever, but he's absolutely right. People are so quick to cancel other people and call their job nurses, doctors, police officers. You know, we catch them doing something out of pocket, we going straight for the jugular. They're attacking their livelihood. And he had every right to get ahead of that and be like, yeah, no, you don't line up. And I love how he separated the Christian values just away from just integrity and morals and character and things like that, right? And I was just like, you can't do that. I'm like, I used to work in HR for the longest. Like, if we get wind of that, honey, we will let you go. Most states are at-will states. They don't owe you anything. You didn't even start yet. You didn't even clock in. Like, when did you post that video? And she was just like, well, I posted it a couple days ago. So you posted it after you got... Why are you even saying that stuff openly and out loud like that? Like, I'm like, well, you just lost a job. She was like, I really needed that job. You should have thought about that before you just went on a racist rant on the internet. The internet is forever. And you gotta... The moral of the story is this. Be careful what you do and say. And especially what you voluntarily post on the internet. How are you mad because they let you go because you just made a blanket statement that you hate white people? Now, if it was a white person saying that, oh, you'd be just up in arms and he's a racist and he's a this and this and this and all this. You can't put those statements out there and think that you finna work for the same people you say you hate. All right, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's the stupidest thing I have heard thus far in 2026. You knowing the fact that you are a young black woman, you decided to go for ultra Christian, religious, white owned Chick-fil-A, and you wanted to write online how much you have a disdain for white people. Hatred. And you thought that was a good idea? You were stupid. Pack it up. Pack it up. Just pack it up. Just you should have applied for government assistance. Like that's the dumbest. Why? Like, this is what I be sitting up here saying, where you got a lot of women out here where their friends don't care about them. Because somebody in her friend group should have automatically let her know, like, hey, this ain't the move. Hurry up and take this down right now. Because I tried to give a warning directly out here, and especially to folks who like to write reckless stuff online. I'm like, soon enough, there's going to be, I guess you could say, like a file or a dossier, whatever it is, records that these social media, not social media, that these corporations, they're going to implement some type of rules in the future. They tried it once, but they just worded it and did it wrong. But when they try it again, they're going to be able to model it and say that, hey, we want to make sure that people are not a brand risk. We want to make sure that people aren't going to cost us unnecessary lawsuits or money lossages because of how it is that they speak by way of social media, whatever rhetoric that they may happen to use or hatred that they may happen to spew and all this. Like I said, I kept telling people, like, hey, y'all people received the first scare, I think, back during the pandemic. You're going to have another one, but it's going to be more permanent. Like I said, the first time was a test trial. I try to tell people that, but nobody wanted to listen. And here we are in hot 2026, where the young woman wanted to sit up there and go to Chick-fil-A, and she basically had the job. But it's like, it's crazy. You said that a day or two before, and you had the job. You were going for the interview. You basically technically had it, and you got lost. You lost your job before you started working. I ain't never in my life. I ain't never in my life seen such foolishness, such ignorance. And then, not to mention that, who's to stop Chick-fil-A from passing your photo and your message around to these other white businesses, the higher ups, so that they can put you on a blacklist to make sure that you do not get hired at a McDonald's, at a Burger King, at a Chipotle, or whatever else that a Subway, whatever else that they got. What's to stop them from doing it? And you can't sue them because you are a brand and a liability. The greater majority of the people that are going to shop at or patronize their businesses are white. How do you think that that's going to make a white organization look if they hired somebody black who openly stated that online being stupid, 100% stupid, and thought that they were not going to suffer any repercussions? You think that that white organization or corporation wants to sit up there and handle your fumble? No, they're getting rid of you before anything even happens, and they're going to be applauded for it. Because again, you decided to go out there on a limb and be stupid. Like, if you were going to work for yourself, fine, by all means, say whatever you want to sit up there and say online. You might not have to face any repercussions, but you're going to go to the exact same people of which you stated that you got a hatred for. You're stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid. Stupid. Like, that's crazy. Like I said before, this woman, she ain't saying nothing wrong. She said everything right, and I agree directly with her. But like I said before, you can't tell a lot of these folks out here nothing. They don't want to listen, and they think that they know everything. They think that they know what's best directly for them. And what was best for her, she done got herself unemployed before she really fully got employed. She couldn't even touch the time clock before she got fired. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That has to be a world record. Has to be. I ain't never, brother. Certified dummy. That's what we're dealing with. Certified dummy. But now we're gonna go directly to the next video here. I forgot. Oh, this is the Asian Americans. Yeah. So this is in a sense going to deal with the Asian Americans and how it is that they decided to be against Black Americans when they dealt with affirmative action and DEI and everything that basically took place directly with it. So we're going to look at a few videos and see what's happening, right?
Thank you very much, Mark, and I likewise appreciate being part of this chorus to sing in praise and in support of our democracy. And let's be clear, we were dealt a blow yesterday. Certainly the court is opening its doors to discriminate with impunity against the voters of color, including Asian Americans. I think it's also important in this moment to recognize that we are coming together as civil rights organizations. We are nonpartisan. What we are here to talk about is to ensure that all of our communities have the right to vote, have access to the ability to vote, and are fairly represented in the hallways of Congress and all the different legislatures and policymaking bodies. And I think that's what makes this court's reasoning so frustrating to all of us. The reasoning that political agendas and protecting incumbents are in themselves sufficient reasons to overcome the negative impact on minority communities, it flies in the face of the history of the 15th Amendment and the Voting Rights Act. These laws were designed to disrupt the status quo that discriminated against Black and other marginalized communities. And the strength of our country is in its people and the dynamic manner in which our communities continue to develop and continue to grow. Any attempt to keep this country static is un-American and will move this country backwards. So let's be clear. This is not just about one community. It's about all of us and whether our democracy works for all of us. Certainly for Asian Americans, we have benefited from the Voting Rights Act. which has protected us from being profiled, from being intimidated, or being denied our voice simply based on racial identity, accent, or limited English proficiency. For that reason, we are proud we have always stood beside our Black, Latino, Native, and other community brothers and sisters in this fight for voting rights, and we will continue to do that work now. We simply will not accept a rollback on decades of progress, centuries of progress towards this freedom that all of us believe in. So we will continue to fight in the courts, in state legislatures, and in urging Congress to pass the John R. Lewis Voting Rights Amendment Act. And of course, we will make our voices known at the ballot box this fall and in future elections. Our democracy depends on it.
So we heard that from the Asian American, how he had this long drawn out thing. Basically, to sum it up, he was like, this is everybody's fight. It doesn't just affect the blacks, it affects everybody, right? Same kumbaya moment, but I want you to look also at this. What do we see directly in front of us? It says, why this Asian American, why I helped strike down Harvard affirmative action in the Supreme Court. So on one end, it's like, hey, I'm Asian. I'm going to go against the black community, or I'm going to go against, not just the blacks, but I'm also going to go against myself and the minorities. But then on the other end, it's like, hey, blacks, this whole situation, this is dealing with all of us. It's not just you. It's not just you. It's everybody in every community. And we all need to come together. See how those Asians came together when it dealt with getting rid of affirmative action and DEI, because they specifically thought that it was going to single-handedly make their lives easier and only affect Black Americans. Well, let's keep going.
Afternoon. I'm Yuyo. No AB7. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Charles Wong. I'm a member of California Professional Scientists Association, and I oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Xu. I'm with Californians for Equal Rights Foundation. I strongly oppose AB7. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, let me see if I can find something real quick. Trying to figure out if we can happen to find something real quick. But you saw how the Asians came directly through. They were like, hey, we basically, whatever this is, we oppose it. Right. And at the bottom it says the post-secondary education admission preference descendants of slavery, right? And they were all like, we oppose. We oppose. Right. They were up there smiling, they were happy. Right. They were speaking as perfectly as possible, as clear as possible, to let people know specifically what it is. So then we're going to continue. Let me see, make sure. See.
Here in America just got a gift.
Okay, that's the other one. So now we're gonna go directly to the next one. And this is the showcase what I said before about how the main folks that were being affected. I had another video that also talked about white men being affected population wise, in a sense, when it deals with college acceptance and all these other types of things. But you're going to listen to this Asian American and what it is that he had to go through when it dealt with college admissions.
Button, my entire future could depend on this moment.
I was always aiming for the castle on the hill. I was always trying to go for Harvard.
The college was part of a Supreme Court decision last year that brought a massive policy change and an incredible amount of uncertainty about the future of campus diversity.
We do begin tonight with the landmark Supreme Court ruling striking down affirmative action as we know it in college admissions, overturning a key tool used for more than 40 years to make campuses more diverse in this country.
Over the past year, we've been with the first students to navigate a post-affirmative action world.
The Harvard application has been especially tough because they kind of switched up their entire application.
I feel like we're the guinea pigs of the whole situation.
Admissions officers can no longer use race to judge students' applications, but students can choose to share that information in their essays, possibly putting more pressure on that part of their application.
You don't precisely know what the school is asking for you to write about.
David says he decided to lean into his cultural identity in his personal statement.
Were you anxious at all about how talking about your Chinese heritage may have hurt or helped you?
It's just a huge part of my identity that I didn't really care. If a school does not want to admit me because I'm Asian American, then there's not much I can do about that because it's a part of me that I just can't get rid of.
That means I still have a chance.
We love you, all right? We love you.
Then more disappointing news over the next few months as he began to hear back from the over dozen schools that he applied to.
No Yale, waitlist, no Princeton.
And it was all like bad news or results I wouldn't have expected, like reject, waitlist.
In March, he learned Harvard had rejected him.
I feel like I also owe it to my parents to sort of make them proud. And I feel like by not getting into Harvard, I was sort of disappointing them. But more importantly, I was disappointing myself.
Adam Mortara, who helped argue the case that struck down affirmative action on behalf of Students for Fair Admissions, says Harvard had previously unfairly held Asian American applicants to a higher standard.
Our econometrics expert was able to show that, in fact, that admissions penalty existed. It was predominantly centered in the so-called personal rating, where Asian applicants were given lower personal ratings than white applicants, African American applicants, or Hispanic applicants.
That so-called personal rating could include traits like humor, kindness, sensitivity, and leadership. While David does not believe race played a role in his rejection from Harvard, he says he thinks implicit bias is nearly impossible to erase.
So I think that the stereotypes are that Asian people are sort of reserved, stick to themselves, and just do math problems in their free time.
Did you feel like you had to, though, purposefully go out of your way to show, hey, I'm not like the stereotypical Asian?
I think I had to. I feel like I did kind of have to prove that I'm not the stereotypical Asian.
So he had to prove that he wasn't the, I guess, the model minority, that he was outside of the box. But like I said before, this is what happens when you want to be so close to whiteness that you blind yourself because you thought that you were Icarus and you wanted to climb to the greatest heights and you wanted to try to touch the sun, and you ended up making wings made of wax and you fell directly to the earth where you belonged because you were trying to overshoot your mark. You were doing way too much, and people tried to sit up there and tell you, but you wanted to risk any and everything because you felt that you were right. Not that you knew, not that you did the calculations, not that you were using logic, that you felt. You went on emotions. And this is where your emotions specifically got you. Now, the end result is he did get into college. He got into Duke. But he had to deal with all of these no's that he normally would not have had to deal with if affirmative action were still in place. He would have probably got accepted to every college, and he would have just had to decide which one he wanted to go to. But now the colleges are choosing him versus him choosing the colleges. It'd be like that. Like I said before, y'all didn't want to listen to Black Americans. Y'all didn't want to hear what it is that we had to tell y'all. Y'all didn't want to listen to the warnings. Y'all didn't want to see the writing on the wall. Even if we wrote it directly in your language, we wrote it directly in UV type of paint or glow in the dark paint. People just did not want to sit up here and listen. And this is what y'all got to deal with. Y'all made this bed. Now y'all got to sleep directly in it with all of the glass shards, the needles, with all of the ticks and everything that comes directly with it. You gotta sit directly in that bed. You gotta live with that. And it ain't no coming back from it. It ain't no like, oh, let me reach out my hand and try to, get the Black Americans back in the good grace. No, we don't care nothing about that. Like I said, y'all did it. You did it specifically to yourselves. Like I said, nobody want to believe Black Americans because everybody think we're liars. Everybody think that we just got something up our sleeve. It's crazy. But anyways, let's go to the next video.
60 seconds, and I told you to be patient. Beautiful things are happening. Things are changing. Department of Homeland Security just said that the final step to be getting a green card. So if you're here on any kind of visa, even the H-1B, the final step to getting a green card has to be done in your home country. So if you're at that process in 2 weeks or 5 years, no matter what, you got to go home and you got to do the last process in your country at the American consulate. This is affecting anybody here on a visa. They have to go home. They can't just sit here. You can't process the paperwork here and listen to what companies are going to say. Think about it from the corporation standpoint. They don't have that protection anymore. These employees have to go home in order for them to get a green card to come back. And it has to be approved. They're making it way more difficult for them to get into this country. We've been asking for it. Here it comes. I told you be patient. Beautiful things are going to happen in the next 2.5 years.
So we heard that, right? And I want to just pull that picture directly up. We clearly see who is talking. That is not a Black American. This is somebody who is happy, who is ecstatic about what is specifically taking place. And it's also detrimental to those who are within his community. Like I said before, a lot of these folks who ain't Black American voted for this to happen, are okay with this happening. So you got these folks here who then did whatever it is that they needed to do, but the last portion of whatever test or whatever it is that they got to do for their final paperwork, America's like, you know what? We might not be able to get you out one way, but we're going to get you out another way. And it's like, hey, you got to go back home to finish up this paperwork in order to come back here. So you already got a home or an apartment, you already established, you already got money, and now you can't be here no more because you got to finish up the rest of your paperwork back from the original site. And then and only then can they decide, like, all right, we're not accepting this. Like I said, I see what they did. I see exactly what they did. And like I told a lot of people, all of y'all played yourselves. All of y'all played yourselves. Y'all thought it was ha, y'all wanted to key, and y'all wanted to come directly online talking about Black Americans and all this other type of stuff, but yet your people were doing stuff like this, plotting directly against you. This don't got nothing to do with Black Americans. Y'all can't even blame this and put your fingers up directly at us and point. Can't even do it. This is your people, and that's what I'll be talking about. 99 different times I done seen folks like this get online, talk about how it is that they voted, what it is that they specifically voted on, and it be their own people doing it. But somehow, some way, they fix their faces to get on TikTok and everywhere else and sit up there and try to insinuate that Black Americans are at fault. How? How, Sway? How, Sway? You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers to how Black Americans are at fault. But it's nonsense because it don't make sense. Like I said, people don't want to be honest when they mess up, or when they people mess up. They never want to check their own people, but they want to make sure to fix their mouths and their lips or lack thereof to speak on Black Americans and to try to critique us. Like I said, it's crazy out here. It's crazy. It's just 100% diabolical. But like I said, hey, this is what y'all bargained for. You were like Doctor Strange, and you decided to go to the other dimension, and you showed up to Dormammu. Was like, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. But you ain't had no time stone. You didn't have no time stone. You didn't have the Eye of Agamotto. You didn't have none of that. So whatever deal you made is the deal that you made. There's no takesy backsies. It's over for you. It's curtains. Pack it up. Pack it up. Like I said, everything that is going to happen from now onto the future is directly on you. Please stop going online trying to tell Black Americans that we are at fault, that it's because of us. We need to protect. We need to step up. We need to speak because we're all in this together. Stop with the, oh, what do you think is going to happen after he's done with us? What do you think is going to happen to you? The same thing that's always been happening, brain. The same thing that's always been happening. You're smart enough to figure that one out, brain. You shouldn't have to sit up and talk to us about this. But here we are. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. It is diabolical. 100%. Yo, what's up there? That man was like, LOL, caught that. Yo, I'm telling you, it's wild work out here. You gotta bring back the classic shows sometimes, But yeah, it's wild out here, man. It is wild. And I did see where'd she go real quick? I did see Faith. What is up? What is up? We had a very nice conversation. Like I said, Faith, I feel as though that the video I did, I feel like that was the nicest that I've been in responses. You can ask any of my moderators. Normally, I would probably just rage out. I would probably normally rage out in response, and it probably it probably just wouldn't have boiled over well. But I managed. I managed, and again, like I said before, it was early in the morning, so I felt like I did very great in that response. Um, but like I said, I did in a sense go back and have comments about the video in the first part of the live stream. You might have missed that, not sure. But yeah, there was a whole thing directly there, but it wasn't in a sense you specifically. There was another woman that pulled up there, and she decided to say some stuff. So all the attention was taken directly off of you from the that video and put directly on that woman for the first part of that first half of the live stream or whatever. So you were in the clear at this moment in time. That the other lady, yeah, not so much. Not so much. That other lady, she just came up there and started talking crazy. It's crazy. You said good. Ah, but like I told you, it's have conversations about a variety of different topics here. This is not a WHN as I call it, or that I commonly get, which is the woman hating network. Like I said, there's no Lifetime here. This is not a male version of Lifetime. Everything is just critique and pointing out stuff that in a lot of instances only women can sit up there and fix. Because like I said, I'm a man at the end of the day. There's only so much I can do. Like I said, I never grew up to as a girl. I never lived a life as a girl. Growing into a teenage girl, into a young woman, into a full-fledged woman, never did any of those things. So there's a lot of situations that I point out that both physically and emotionally only women can sit up there and deal with. And as I said before, the moment of time, if Pandora's box, when it's already open, but the more and more it gets open, you're not going to be able to close it, and it's pretty much going to be over. So anytime people want to talk about femicide or the lack of protection for women and all this other type of stuff, I point directly to videos where you got women, or more so black women, taking the lives of other women directly out there, or all this other type of stuff. And like I said, stuff that needs to be fixed. Somebody said vote Democrat for the midterm blue. I have to ask, are you Black American? Because that does not sound Black American to me. Because I'm like, you've come to the wrong channel for that one. Let me just be honest with you. Because realistically, voting wise, Democrats have done nothing for. Let me put it to you like this: the Republican Party gave reparations to white people in real time. The Democratic Party has never given anything to Black Americans when it deals with the harm that this country has done. And you're sitting up here saying that Black Americans should vote blue during the midterm. I'm a little bit confused. I don't really understand that one. I'm a little bit confused on that. I'm a little bit confused. Bruh said the He-Man Women's Haters Club. That's crazy. Third said I would have blocked her in the comments on that video if I had the ability to do so. No, like I said, opposing views are, directly fine. Like I said, if people want to critique me, that's completely fine. That like I said, it is what it is. It be like that. Most said LOL. Somebody said off topic, the Republicans are doing everything to antagonize FBAs to take to the streets so that they can bring in insurrection laws. Yeah, they probably are. They probably are, but like I said, it's going to be you're going to have to do a lot in order to get Black Americans to really move and to really do anything. Like if you're trying to get Black Americans in the movement, such as what was going on during the pandemic, good luck. it's going to take a lot. But when they try to move that needle that much, it's going to not just affect us, it's going to affect everybody. So they don't know how to calculate this. They may be, let's say the government may be like 50, 100, or 1,000 steps ahead, but there's still some things that they don't know how to calculate. This is why they got quantum computers, because they're not trying to mess up. They're not trying to have a horrible mess up that everybody's going to be able to point and look and be like, "Oh, this is your fault. The government, this is really your doing right here. It ain't nobody else. This is really you." Right? This is why they're using quantum computers for a lot of things, for a lot of calculations, because they are really not trying to mess up, and they don't want to be looked at as the blame for anything. Somebody said false. What for Tommy? What's the false part? Let me know. Bruh said, I do want to say I appreciate your perspective and the things I've learned from you today. Thank you for being open-minded and open to critique. These conversations are so important. So thank you. Hey, much appreciation. Glad you're able to, enjoy your time here. Faith said, I don't think he wants to silence those who disagree with him. Now it gets to a point now when people are being completely just like stupid, where like, hey, we're about to start throwing like racial slurs and all this. Like, yeah, that's the moment in time people get muted. You getting the boot and all that other type of stuff. If it's just some normal type of stuff, it's like, all right, whatever. It's it's whatever. Bro said, no, it doesn't seem that he doesn't shout people down like other streamers I've turned into. Yeah. Now I will sit up there and tell you this, for Bruh. Now I've grown. I've evolved over time, because if you came here very much earlier on, the moment in time that somebody was talking a little bit crazy, it was on site. I was going off. I was going off probably for about like an hour or two or whatnot or whatever. Like I said, it was great for TV. I'm pretty sure that it was entertaining for a lot of folks directly out there who might have had a stressful or a bad day. They can look at somebody else and they'd be like, yo, maybe what I'm going through is not as bad. Maybe I'm not really angry as this person here. So, it was something else. It was something else different. Something else different. Third was like, I do. So you talk crazy, get the boot to the Phantom Zone. Faith said, that's boring. Somebody said they put them in a trick bag. It'd be like that. I'm still waiting for the other person. Where's the other person that said something was false? I'm waiting for that Tommy person. They pulled up and said something was false, and that was more than likely during the point of me stating what I was saying about the government giving white people reparations. I'm trying to figure out how is that false, because Trump said that himself. I verbatim played the video from the news conference where he said that he was from the 1.3 or 1.7 billion-dollar fund, that was going to be used to correct the hurt and the harm that happened to loyalists, to people that was mistreated during that time. So I'm trying to figure out where am I incorrect about what it is that I'm saying. That's a form of reparations. I'm like, do people not know what reparations mean? Like, I'm a little bit confused. Like I said, like the Democratic Party never gave reparations to Black Americans. They would not even attempt to. All they set up there and did was put things on the back burner and say, okay, we got this study for reparations. We got another study for reparations. We got 14 other studies for reparations. We gotta study this for the next 30 years to be. What do you have to study? The Republican Party didn't study nothing. They was like, okay, this happened some years ago. So somehow, some way, we're going to get, some billions of dollars, and we're going to make right with a lot of these people that we feel were hurt and harmed because of politically how it is that they decided to go about things. Like I said, it's crazy. Watching it directly in real time. In real time. Bruh said, growing up and learning is maturing. I'm sure it was great for TV, but probably not for your mental or your physical health. I mean, mental health is all right. Mental health is all right. Mental health, because I say it like this: it gets to the point where you take on so much and you don't happen to respond, it builds up. That's for me, looking at it from a logical perspective, that causes more harm than good when you sit back and you don't say anything. Right. And that's the one thing I advocate for. Like, if there are streamers out there, it is okay once in a while to sit up there and go off, because again, you got people out there that deserve it. They think that they can just have a bad day off screen and they can just come directly in the chat or whatever and just, say whatever it is that they want to sit up there and say. They want to make you the issue versus, their manager or their boss or their wife or husband or whoever it is. They don't want to direct their energy at those important people that got them that way. They want to put everything directly on you, and then they want to have that release, that woosah. It's like, nah. If you think that you mad, you about to be really mad having a conversation with me. I will be the conductor, and we're going to be pushing this train directly into the deepest volcano. We're going to be going through 7 leagues if we have to. We're going down like the Titanic, playing the violin. Like I said, what was the song? Highway to Hell? Yeah, we're going to be going right there. Like I said, it's funny though. It's funny. Bruh said, "Oh my gosh, those poor insurrectionists, those poor babies. They committed a crime and have been isolated in jail. They definitely deserve reparations." Super duper sarcasm. No Freedom said, "The Caucasians, the Caucanites, I would vote for dog-ish, then vote for any other party." Sim, what is it? Yeah, I'm just gonna say Sims. You said Trump not giving black repair. I guess you mean reparations. Faith said exactly. Thumbs up. Yo, Vincent Taylor, what is up? What is up? What is up? He said going through all the circles of hell. Shout out to Dante's Inferno. Yes, indeed. We will do that. Like I said, I've matured quite a bit, at least in my eyes. So I don't go off the handle as much, because it used to be at a point where moderators would try to, get to me in the comment section like, "Yo, says you like, hey, you gotta calm down, like, hey," and I wasn't trying to hear nothing. All I saw was red. I didn't care who it was. Like I said, it was rated E for everybody. Like I said, it didn't matter if it was male or female coming directly to this channel. Whatever I had to say was bisexual. Any and everybody could get it. Let me say. Oh man, let me tell you. EA Sports, it's in the game. But yeah, it was that's how it was. That is how it was. Like I said, maybe one of these days I might try to go back in the archives and try to see if I can find some of those live streams. Let me tell you. What was it? I don't even know who this dude is directly in the comment section. Dude talking crazy right there. It's crazy. Somebody said Melania is illegal. Barron is an anchor baby. Shannon said, "Hey, Seji, sorry, off top." Wait, what happened? Would you Shannon, what happened? I'm not even sure what took place. Yo, Williams, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said Hito got them hands rated E for everybody. That's bars. We got the internet hands directly out here, and everybody can get it. Like I said, equal opportunists. That is how we roll directly out here. That is how we roll. That is how we roll. But yeah, that's I think that is, I want to say that's pretty much it. Yep. That is all the comments we done caught directly up to. So much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of those who pulled directly up to the scene to be a part of the conversation and the live stream. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Also, got to sit up there and give a shout out to Faith. Did not duck and dodge, pulled directly up when she saw that live notification, was like, "Hey, let me say hi real quick and see what happens." Shout out to you. Because like I said, there's a lot of runners and track stars directly out here. And as I talk about a lot, normally people want to pull up to the comment section and just say something on a standalone video, and they do not pull up to the live streams. You are one of the rare few. Like I said, if there was a badge that I can probably give you, I would sit up there and do that. Because like I said, I admire stuff like that. Like I said, you pull directly up, no matter what the conversation or response was directly, underneath the video, on top of the video I sat up there and did. Like I said, I respect that. Like I said, I respect, certain things about people. And you did not run. Like I said, shout out to you. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Shauna said you said the KK was walking down the street in Virginia Beach, protested, but they call themselves something else now in Virginia. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Faith said, "Yep, power to the people." Most said one of a few square beds. Yeah. Yep. Tippy said, what's the next video, Seji? Nothing at this moment. Pink said, hit the like button. That's bars, 100%. And again, Pink, I didn't forget. I do got that video in the back that is coming directly up. So I didn't forget because I do have my times where it's like mental lapse, Pink sent some videos, I forgot, or other stuff gets directly, or I may get distracted by a game. I kid you not. It's crazy work out here. Mine be flying like the branches on trees. It's just like going everywhere. But also I want to put a shout out to a lot of my moderators who have sent information along with videos, directly to me to help me out during live streams and to put further information directly out there. Like I said, wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without you guys. Which y'all do both seen and and unseen. Also, much love to those who donate directly to the live stream. Also, those who are members, those who are also part of the patron as well. Those who are also subscribers. And again, even those who leave comments as well too. Much love, respect, and appreciation. What was it? Faith said, "I like your content. That is why." Hey, much love. Much love it. As long as you can find some entertainment somewhere, I'm doing my job. That's all that matters. Third said, this man is always looking for a battle. This man, third is like, yo, I want all the what was the African dude that was like not Shang Tsung, he was Shao Kahn. He was like, I want all the problems. It's been like I want all the problems. But yeah, like I said, I'm vastly different. Just a bit. But like I said, I give credit for me. I give credit where credit is. When things pull directly up. Because again, we've had a field of people of which moderators have gotten rid directly of, and those people only showed up once. Well, technically, even before the moderators even got rid of them, those folks only pulled up once just to say something, then dipped. I'm like, that's weird. That's suspicious. That whole thing. Third was like always do. Tippy said, I got a video I'm going to post in the Discord. It pissed me off. Those true patriots are evil. Yeah, trust me, Tippy. I got a field of videos directly in the back as well too. I wanted to technically throw them up in Discord, but I'm like, I don't want to inundate y'all with like a whole bunch of just like madness, and stuff like that. So it's like I tend not to throw a lot of videos up there in Discord because in a lot of instances I got videos it would take me a lot of work to edit those videos, and even then I still wouldn't even be specifically sure unless I just blocked out the whole thing or whatnot or whatever. Tippy says, did you see MK yet? Matter of fact, I'm glad you reminded me. I'll probably just watch it today. I'll probably just fix I'll just reheat the food that I got, and I'll probably just watch it today. Probably like after I get off the live stream, because I was supposed to been watch it at a point in time, but I didn't watch it yet, even though I was hyped about it. So I'll more than likely just do it today. I will do it today. So that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, for everybody that's still here, make sure to get your feng shui in order, catch up on some anime, catch up on some movies, some video games, spend time with your family, spend time, with yourself, or whatever it is, and order some food, as well too, and get your energy in order, right? And I will catch you guys in the next video or live stream. I do have a video coming up, and let me just make sure. Oh, what time is it? It's 4:58. So I'll probably put the video because the live stream was going. I'll probably put it for about like 5:30 or close to 6. So again, this is the video that I will have posted is going to be a lower view video because it's more so informational and it's specifically tailored for Black women. So in that, I'm just going to have a warning. In that video, I did go slightly off. It did happen. Some people are going to feel a certain type of way about the things that I say, but I'm saying it for a very specific reason. So I'm just saying, I'm just letting folks, anybody in the background, I'm just letting people know, let them know ahead of time to already have heightened sense of security. Because I went off out of frustration. And you'll see why directly in the video, because it has to do with chemicals, and very harmful things. And it's detrimental. Inevitably it's going to have a negative effect directly on Black women, but it's only so much that you can do to try to inform and actually tell people. So this goes back into what I stated before about me putting up informational videos and the frustration that basically leads directly with that. And already know what the outcome is going to be. But be on the lookout for that around, I say 5:30 to about 6 o'clock. I'm going to make sure to actually have it set. I'll put it at 5:30. I'll do it because it's 4:49 right now. Not sure when it's going to take YouTube to really upload this video. So I will just do that now so I won't forget. Let me see, 5:30. 5:30, right. Yeah, right there. So yeah, y'all can let me know how y'all feel about that video. And I have some other videos, specifically some of the videos that we were able to watch here. I have that as solo content for you guys to, take on and digest as you see fit. What was it? Mo said, I have a video you'd enjoy. How I send it to you. This man. This man Mo, that's crazy. Timmy said I might watch it tonight as well too. Shauna said it is okay, baby, no problem. I got you. Timmy said it's cool. We still love you. Much love, respect, and appreciation. So yeah, that video will be up, and we will have some other videos varying as well too, along as solo talking about the Asians and things of that nature. But anyways, not trying to keep y'all here any longer. I'll see you guys in the next video and or live stream. Peace out.